Young nigga about that paper.
Ringo TV.
Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Young nigga about that paper. Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean as can be up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so swoon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They paid me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it a top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid. I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Look at how far we progress.
Welcome to the stream. Ringo TV Reactions back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot to talk about. Very, very interesting live stream. I believe you're going to enjoy this one. A lot of truth will be shared to uncover the lies that are pretty much out there on these social media streets. New breed global lies again. He weaponized the ADL to put out false information about Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. And I want to address this issue, and I'm going to keep on pressing this button because he's dancing around the truth. Now, a little background about who New Breed Global Truth is. He's a black racist. He don't like white people. He pushes anti-Semitism. He is a part of a hate group organization called the Black Hebrew Israelites, the FBA movement. And he have a lot of different belief systems all in one. Now, what he loves to do is he pick and choose different types of information to push his own narratives when he wants. In this instance, the reason why I got to do this particular stream, because I touched on this already in other streams, but I don't think people are hearing the message. New Breed is using the Jewish organization of the ADL to publish that Turning Point USA is a terror organization, a hate group of terror. But there's a problem with that, guys. There's a serious problem. Now, again, as you come into the stream, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, guys. The reason why this is a serious issue is because New Breed don't even like Jewish people. And I have to make this very publicly clear because the ADL should put New Breed Global Truth on their website because he pushes hate and he's dancing around it and he don't want to admit the truth. That's why we're calling him to the floor so that he could just be honest about his beliefs and stop trying to dance. Let's look at this particular receipt right here, guys. And shout out to everybody coming in the building. Appreciate everybody stopping by. We have a very, very important video, guys, to talk about here. Very, very serious issue, guys. We have to deal with these issues. Now, here's the receipt on the screen. This right here is 100% facts that New Breed Global Truth pushes a message of anti-Semitism. This message right here. This is a video that he took down from YouTube, and he put this video on Rumble because he's afraid that the YouTube gods would terminate his channel or demonetize his platform if they known about this particular message here. In this particular video, he praised Candace Owens for going after a Jewish rabbi. I believe the rabbi was a rabbi for Michael Jackson, right? And she called the rabbi the synagogue of Satan. And not only that, she was going in 100%, and New Breed was praising her. New Breed acknowledged that she's a strong black woman for what she did. I actually didn't even have the video set up, but let me see if I can pull it up, guys. And again, as you come in, be sure to double tap the screen, guys. We need your support. It is very important, guys, that you double tap the screen. Let me see if I can find the video with him praising Candace. I think we got it here.
Man.
Okay, yeah. All right, we got the video here. Let me set this up. I didn't have this planned, but let me put this video here because we got to establish these things first, guys, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this content, because New Breed name and his platform supposed to be on the ADL's website. It should be there. And I don't like what he's doing. I don't like when people dance around the truth and they try to hide when they're a part of a hate group organization called the Black Hebrew Israelites. Because when he did his video about Turning Point USA, he touched on the fact that the ADL mentions Black Hebrew Israelites. At the same time, he ignored the information. The ADL threw anyone that is a part of the organization Black Hebrew Israelites under the bus for their belief system, because it is a organization that targets what they assume is hate or anti-Semitism or anything that they deem offensive or something that can undermine the Jewish people. That's why it's listed on that website. So now when you think about that, the Black Hebrew Israelite religion was on the website. It still is. We're going to talk about that as well. My mission is to get New Breed to acknowledge that he's using a website of people that he considers to not be the chosen people. He said this many times. Those of you that follow his platform know how he feels about the Jewish community. You know that. And for him to use the ADL's website, it's kind of hypocritical in my opinion, because he told you guys that those are not the people of the book and how they're liars. That's what he said. So I'm trying to figure out, why would he use that site to condemn Turning Point USA if he feel that they are incapable of speaking truth? Why would he use it as a source of truth if he don't even believe that those are the people of the book? It makes no sense, guys. You understand? So we're not here to play any games. We're not here to do any nonsense. So if you're not going to follow the stream, if you're not going to listen to learn, if you're not going to pay attention in class, right? It don't even make no sense you be here. We're not here to play any games with folks that are unintelligent and don't want to listen, right? So if you're in the live, listen to the content so you can understand what we're talking about. I don't want to be talking to dumbass people that don't know how to pay attention, right? So we don't need a million questions of what we're talking about. What is the topic about? Let's not be dumb. Pay attention. I'm talking. That's why you're here, right? Okay. So this YouTuber named NUBREED condemned Turning Point USA, which was started and founded by Charlie Kirk, and he turned it into a terror organization by using some research information from the ADL's website. And he was so convinced that Turning Point USA is a hate group, not because he believes it, it's just that the information is there. So he's weaponizing the ADL to further attack Charlie Kirk. It's really all about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is dead. NUBREED has never made a video about Charlie Kirk ever until he died. Once he died, he mocked his death, he laughed at him, and he disrespected his wife, his children, everybody. This is how the guy is. If you're a man and you have a family, NUBREED is the type of guy that would disrespect your wife, your kids, everybody. He don't care. That's just the type of guy he is. He have no morals or values. What I'm trying to show you guys is this video that you see there is on Rumble. If you go to Rumble and you actually type in NUBREED Global Truth, you will get this video. If you listen to that video, you will hear NUBREED speak against the Jewish community in a negative way. You will hear him agree with Candace Owens 100%. You will notice that his target is to push hate. And this is something that he believes. So what I'm trying to do is educate the YouTube community on the kind of person this is so that you don't fall for the okie doke, because what he loves to do is gaslight the viewers. He loves to become a chameleon where he transforms and act like he's not like this and he's not pushing hate and, you know, he's just a good guy who believes in God. But really, he don't believe in God. He believes in himself, and that's it. So now I want to play this little clip here of him praising Candace Owens so you guys can see that he supported Candace Owens, and he recently distanced himself from Candace Owens once he learned that Candace was good friends with Charlie Kirk. He distanced himself from supporting Candace Owens once he learned that Candace Owens was good friends with Charlie Kirk. But listen how he was last year with Candace Owens. Check this out, guys.
And I wanted to reveal a very, I just wanted to react to a very shocking interview. It's a debate, actually, between Candace Owens and Michael Jackson's former rabbi. And I'm going to just say this off the break, right? Man, listen, Candace Owens, let me just say this. We got to give it up for Candace Owens. Bro. I mean, listen, y'all. Listen, y'all. I mean, this woman is attractive. This woman is intelligent. This woman right here is the prime example of a strong black woman.
You see what he said, right?
This woman right here is, I don't care who she married to. Respectfully, I do care, because I would never try to make a pass or, look at a certain, a married woman a certain way. But when I say I don't care who she's married to, because she's married to another nation, a lot of people judge Candace Owens. But looking at the world we're living in right now, in comparison with your Meg Thee Stallions, your Kamala Harris's, your, all of these people that you seem to support, a lot of y'all women like to support the ignorance, the filth. Because Candace Owens ain't telling you to go out there and shake your ass. She's not out there telling you to, jug and finesse men and try to go get free meals and, all those kind of things. And because she's not doing that, it's like y'all don't see her blackness. Y'all don't see that this woman is intelligent. This woman, she has very good historical acumen to herself. And I think she's a great example. I mean, look, she's straight up sister soldier right now. She's sister soldier right now. And at the end of the day, she's the only woman, I'm going to tell you right now, she's the only woman revolutionary right now with a big platform. Straight up.
Number one, Candace Owens is not a revolutionary. That's number one. She's not a revolutionary. She never identified herself as a revolutionary. He is weaponizing Candace Owens to push his agenda of hate. You see, when Candace Owens did this interview on Piers Morgan, something happened between that time and her YouTube platform was demonetized, right? She's monetized again, but she was demonetized. NUBREED made this video going in at the Jewish community, and he took his video down out of fear that YouTube would demonetize him because of what happened to Candace Owens. And he put the video on Rumble. The question you got to ask, guys, is this: why this video is not on YouTube? Why he took it down? And welcome to those that are joining the stream. Be sure to double tap the screen if you haven't already so you can give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel for the best content on YouTube, the best commentary and breakdowns. We're talking about the subject of a YouTuber named NUBREED Global Lies. He is a YouTuber who mocked the death of Charlie Kirk. He's anti-Trump, anti-America. He pushes nothing but hate. What I'm trying to establish here is that he used some information that was found on the ADL's website, and he's pushing this movement of a smear campaign against Turning Point USA by using some information from the ADL website suggesting that they're a terror organization that pushes hate. The ADL recently removed said information once Elon Musk spoke on the issue, Trump Jr., and it pretty much caused the ADL to remove the information that they put out there in regards to Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. And it just goes to show that with pressure, change can happen. This is something the black community don't understand. See, if the black community actually understand what unity meant, right, they can cause change in the world, but they can't even unify in their own communities. This is why they don't have no one in politics that's really fighting for them. This is why there's no elected officials that really care. So what they do is they come on social media to express their disapproval of white America and various other stuff that bothers them, but yet they don't want to solve their own problems in terms of the crime in the black community, the joblessness, the fatherless homes, and various other issues. They don't want to deal with those problems. They're waiting for someone else to solve them. And consequently, you have all these other immigrants that come to America. They're able to start businesses, become successful. They're able to govern their own communities. But for some reason, the black community is still in shambles. And it just goes to show that there's really no leadership there. And New Breed represents the types that try to act as if though he's speaking for his people, but really he's only focusing on his own pockets. He don't really care about the black community. He cares about just money. As long as his bills are paid, that's all he really cares about. And in this case, he's on a smear campaign to prove to the world that Turning Point USA is a hate group. Now, the issue with that, guys, is this, and we're going to get into all this content, but I got to make sure that you're up to speed on exactly what's going on. Now, before I get back to this praise-a-thon here, I want you to see this bit of information here, right? Let me show you this. Now, this is from the ADL's website, and it lists Black Hebrew Israelites. This is something that New Breed won't talk about in its entirety. The ADL lists Black Hebrew Israelites. Notice this is under extremism, hate, and terrorism. You see that? So the Black Hebrew Israelite organization, the religious belief, is all under this very same topic that he's accusing Turning Point USA of. And this is the issue that I'm trying to raise with the YouTube community, that if New Breed believe that Turning Point USA is a hate group, a terror organization, right? And that's what he believed. And he told you that the information came from the ADL's website. Why isn't New Breed going hard in the paint with the same amount of energy and vigor as he would with this issue here? Because the very same ADL lists the Black Hebrew Israelite faith and belief system as extremism, hate, and terrorism. Now, they're not just talking about a particular camp or a particular group. In other words, even though they mention certain names, they're talking about the ideology, the belief system of those that claim Black Hebrew Israelites. Now, those of you that may not be familiar with this, we're going to read all of this stuff. We're going to get into it, guys. We're going to talk about this. For example, this is on the ADL's website, guys. This is the chart that the biblical so-called Black Hebrew Israelites believe in. They believe in this chart. I don't. I don't believe in this chart. I don't. I think this chart is bull crap. You know why? There's a lot of things on this chart that doesn't make sense. But my point is, New Breed believes this. This is his belief system. And it's listed on the ADL's website. You understand? For example, when you look at this chart, right? Let's see what we got. It says Issachar. Now notice that Issachar is listed on this chart. It says they're the Mexicans. I don't believe that. I don't believe Mexicans are Israelites. I don't believe that. That makes no sense, guys. And if you notice, who is New Breed living with right now? Is he living with a black woman? No, he's living with a woman who claims she's Mexican. And she's actually not even Mexican. She's actually a white woman, right? Because her father is from Spain. He's a Spaniard, which would make her a white woman by blood. Not necessarily a white woman as in the typical white woman in America. We're talking about the white women that are in Spain, right? So now this chart says that Mexicans are of the tribe of Issachar. The ADL disapprove of this. So I want to know why New Breed is not speaking on this issue, because he danced around this issue by making it seem like the ADL is really focusing on hate groups who are amongst the Black Hebrew Israelites, but that's not the case. The ADL is 100% against any black person believing that they're a chosen one. They're against anyone who believe that they believe in this chart, or that they believe that the Jewish community are not the biblical Israelites. So I'm trying to figure out why New Breed is not addressing this issue. And why is it that he took what the ADL put out about Turning Point USA as 100% facts, right? But he's not using this situation, you know? And to everyone else who is like questioning, like, what is the ADL? How about you use your same phone that you got to know what that is and educate yourself? Do everybody got to do everything for you? Do I got to walk you to a water fountain to show you what water look like? Use your brain. And that's the problem in today's day. Nobody actually uses their brain anymore. Everybody want someone else to show them what they need to do. So now we're going to look through all of this information. As you can see, they even list Israel United in Christ as a hate group. You see that? They listed ISBK, ISUPK. They list them as another hate group. So this is not just the ADL posting information. This is an attack on anyone who claim that they are a Hebrew Israelite. So if you're a black man, black woman, and you believe that you are a biblical Israelite according to the Bible, this is an attack on your belief system. I want to know why NUBREED is not addressing this. Why is NUBREED such a coward that he's not addressing this obvious issue? But yet he took from the ADL's website that Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA is a terror organization or a hate group. Why he pick and choose his battles? Why he's not a man? Why he's not standing on business for his people? Don't he always tell you guys that you're chosen ones, that you're God's people? Don't he always tell you that? Okay, so why he's not addressing these issues? Come on now. Come on. Now, again, the organization behind the ADL looks at black Americans who call themselves Hebrew Israelites as an extremist group of hate. Why? Because the particular organization believe that they're the biblical Israelites and that the J people are not. This is what you believe. So what are you afraid of, NUBREED? How come you're not addressing this issue? How come you're not standing on business like a man? You scared? What are you afraid of? This is what I'm trying to bring. And we're going to talk about all of these things because we're going to go through the belief system of black Hebrew Israelites to see if NUBREED is a part of that group, right? So now, again, this particular video here is a video where NUBREED was speaking against the Jewish community, and he's acting as if though he's a saint. Why he put this video on Rumble? Because he don't want no smoke with the Jewish community, guys. He's afraid. And this is your leader. He's the guy that you believe in, but he's not standing on business because he's a coward. All right. So now let's get into the content, guys. Remember to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. We got 300 people viewing. We should have 300 likes, guys. Double tap the screen, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel today, guys. So now let's get back to him praising Candace Owens. Check it out, guys.
She's very articulate. She chooses her words very wisely. And, you know, I know some people have a real distaste for her. But what I want to do is I want to play some of the things that's being said in this interview. I see there's some people that's not a fan. They don't like her. Listen, and I'm going to say this, that what I'm saying right now doesn't mean that I agree with her political affiliations. It does not mean that I agree with everything that Candace Owens says.
What it means is that he's weaponizing Candace Owens' attack on the Jewish community. That's what it means. He believes that part. You get what I mean? And this is what I'm trying to teach the YouTube community is that this YouTuber, he says one thing, but he's really doing another. Didn't he just praise Candace Owens at the beginning? Didn't he just say that she's a revolutionary? Didn't he say that she's an educated woman who chooses her words wisely? So if he said all of those things, he agrees with Candace Owens. And what he likes about her is that in this particular video, she was going at the Jewish rabbi.
This does not mean that, because a lot of times when you are in support of a person, people tend to believe that means you support everything they say.
We're not focusing on everything they say. What we're trying to establish that what NUBREED agrees with, right, is everything Candace Owens had to say about Jewish people. That is what we have to focus on right now. So let's just make this clear for the public. What we're focusing on is what this YouTuber actually agree with concerning Candace Owens. And what he agreed with is all of the things she had to say about this Jewish rabbi and the Jewish community. That is what New Breed agrees with. Can we all agree on that? Because he's going to dance around this information as if though, well, I don't believe this with Candace Owens. I don't believe that. Don't let him confuse you. Focus on the topic. What we're trying to establish is that New Breed, again, believes that the Jewish community is the synagogue of Satan. That is what New Breed believes. Based on what he have right there on his video. That's his video, not mine. That's his video. His video is titled, Candace Owens Exposes the Synagogue of Satan. Can we all agree that this is what New Breed believes? Because this is what I'm trying to establish here. I'm trying to give you all context, background, and the history to know that this man that you see on the screen right there believe what Candace Owens believes. So when I go through this video and I break it down, you're going to hear him dance around stuff by saying he's not a part of no hate group. He don't believe in this. He don't believe in that. When I'm showing you what he believed right here, right? What I want him to do is stand on business like a man. Don't hide on social media acting like you're not a so-called man who is anti-J people or anti this, and yet you're deceiving the people. Don't do that. Stand on business, right? So now let's get back to the content. Let's go.
And that's just not the case. When you see that the good outweighs the bad, and you see that the things that they're putting out pushes the envelope and moves our people forward, that's the things that I hone in when it comes to people that I support.
Do you see what he just said? So in other words, because Candace Owens spoke against the Jewish community, spoke against this rabbi, in his mind, he believed that it's pushing the black community forward. That, in other words, what Candace Owens did is helped to empower the black community. Can we all agree that that's what he's talking about right here? So for him to use this video from Candace Owens, in his heart, he believed it's helping him to push his narrative and his mission for the black community. That's what he believes. So he's weaponizing Candace Owens to further his own personal agenda. That's what he's doing, guys.
Are they doing and saying things that progressively move our people forward?
Do you see that? Are they doing or saying anything that's moving black people forward?
Right? Somebody told me to put.
So that's pretty much what he believes. So now, guys, let's get into the actual video. Let me fast forward this, guys. Again, as you join the stream, double tap the screen, guys, to give it a thumbs up. Double tap the screen. So let me get this thing going. Now, in this video that we're about to review is this YouTuber New Breed's video where he is weaponizing the ADL, which is ran by the J people. And again, he's anti-J people, but he's using their website as a source of information of truth. Let's get into the content. To the person who said, why don't you sit down and talk to this guy face to face? Everyone has an opinion. Let me put you on the block list because obviously you're a troll, right? We're doing YouTube videos. We're talking face to face and the public is knowing what's going on. If you knew the history and the story behind this guy, you wouldn't be asking such a dumbass question, right? You wouldn't even be saying that. So obviously you're not even making no sense. You're just here to be a defender of a demon who is out here pushing hate. And I don't appreciate that. So you're going on the block list, right? So now, and if anybody else want to join that person, all you got to do is come into the live chat and just post whatever type of garbage you're posting to try to distract us from doing this work. What we're trying to do is warn the general public of this individual so that viewers, suspecting viewers, don't get poisoned by the ideology of this guy. He's a very hateful individual, very evil, and he likes to target people and weaponize various groups, hate groups, to attack other groups. This is what he do. And he incite hate so that others can hate other people. What we're trying to do is educate the community on his tactics, how he move, his methods, and so forth. Now, remember, he is using the ADL's website as a source of truth, even though he's against the Jewish community. Think about what I just said here. This YouTuber is 100% against the Jewish community, but he's using the ADL's website as a source of truth to condemn Turning Point USA. Are y'all getting that? He's against them, but because their website lists information that can help push his agenda of hating Charlie Kirk, he don't have no problem using it. Let's get into the content. Watch this madness, guys.
What's going on, everybody? It's your brother NUBREED coming through with another live stream. And this particular stream right here has to be one of the most validating, vindicating streams that I've done in a long time.
Remember, he's weaponizing the ADL against Turning Point USA. Yet, the very same website lists Black Hebrew Israelites as a terror extremist group.
I see y'all rolling in the chat. Rio, Mystic in the building. Kratos, Wanda Austin, Dennis Donaldson in the building. Salvador's in the house.
Let me fast forward
Tish, Stick in the building. Last night, while taking questions,
hold on,
been labeled a hate group. Turning Point USA.
Let's start there.
An extreme hate group of terror. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And we got to talk about this. And this is very much vindicating because I've been saying this all along. And I've been met with a lot of resistance, a lot of hate, a lot of false accusations. And we got to bring this to the forefront. We definitely got to talk about this. And yes, this is not clickbait. This is just the straight up truth. Turning Point USA has been labeled a hate group. Now, hold on. I'm going to share the receipts with y'all. So the ADL has posted, and I'll let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. It would be better. So I want y'all to be able to see it too, but full screen your device if need be. But I'm going to read this for y'all. And mind you, this is from the Center of Extremism. This was updated last night, 9/29/25. Right? Key points. Founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA is a political student organization that appeals to a wide range of conservatives from moderate Republicans to far right. TP USA has played a significant role in GOP politics and elections, hoping to galvanize young people. Kirk was murdered at a public event at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah on September 10th, 2025, while taking questions from engaging with students and other attendees. A regular feature of Kirk's public event, TPS USA and Kirk himself publicly supported the state of Israel and spoke out against his critics. These views made him a target of prominent voices from the extreme right, such as the Groypers. Kirk promoted Christian nationalism, the idea that Christians should dominate the government and other areas of life in the U.S. TP USA also has promoted some conspiracy theories related to topics such as C-19, individuals associated
with TPUSA, history of bigoted statements. Now, hold on. And so let me just, I want y'all to follow this right here. So what's happening right now is they're pretty much abstaining Charlie Kirk, but they're about to really get into it about Turning Point. So they're basically, because Charlie Kirk is no longer here, the ADL is pretty much abstaining him, saying, Charlie Kirk, he was on the side of Israel, but Kirk, you basically did have a racist, bigoted organization. And I'm going to prove that, right?
Listen, guys, when you're listening to this guy, you have to think about what we're actually listening to, what's the context, and why the ADL even put this on their website. Did they put this on their website because they're trying to help, I guess, all nationalities of people, so that everyone can know that Turning Point USA is an organization that is just promoting hate against you? No. They listed what they list on their website because they don't like it, because they feel it affects the Jewish community or the Jewish people. You get what I'm saying? That's what they feel. That's why they list it. Not so it can help you, because it doesn't affect you. You don't even care. And he's not giving you that context so that you can understand what is going on. Like, why was that listed? Because after Charlie Kirk passed away, got assassinated, excuse me, we saw this guy, I'm not sure if it's, I keep forgetting his name, something, Yenin Ben Yahu, something like that. Excuse me if I pronounced the name wrong. But we saw him in a video where he was claiming that he spoke with Charlie Kirk or something along them lines, and how Kirk said how much he loves Israel and he's going to visit and all this other stuff. And it sounded like what he was saying is that he was in support of Israel. So in my mind, I'm like, why would that guy put that information out after Charlie is dead, but yet the ADL have Turning Point USA listed in such a negative way? So it really looked suspicious, and it looked bad. It looked very bad. And it's almost like somebody made a mistake and forgot that information there. In other words, it kind of looked like this. It looks like when Charlie Kirk, before he got very popular, he was listed on the ADL's website, meaning they were watching him, watching his movement, watching what he was doing. And it was like a threat. Like, like when someone's threatened by your growth. And somewhere in the lines of Charlie Kirk's rise in fame, there must have been some sort of talks, but they forgot that the information is still on the website. Nobody took it down. They forgot. You get what I'm saying? Some sort of deal probably was made allegedly behind the scenes, and the information was still on the website, because it makes no sense that this particular guy, Yahoo or whatever his name is, was speaking as if though him and Kirk was friends or he's in support of Israel, yet Turning Point USA is listed on the ADL as a terror group, a hate group. That doesn't make no sense. So there's a problem here, a great mystery, just with that alone, because they took the information down once Elon Musk spoke about it. Elon Musk spoke about the ADL talking about Christians and said, well, if you guys are speaking the way you're speaking about Christian nationalists or whatever the case is, then you're speaking against Christians. Then that would make you a hate group. Once they said that, they took the information about Charlie Kirk Turning Point down. They removed over 1,000 pages or something along that line of research off their website. Do you see that? So once they remove the information, it speaks volumes to, was Turning Point USA really a terror group, or was they just listed up there because they couldn't get what they want out of Turning Point? In other words, if we can't agree, we're just going to put you on this website. If we can't get what we want, then we'll just list you as a hate group. Because why was he up there in the first place? Why was he up there? That's the question you all got to ask yourself. Why were they up there? Somebody put them there. And right after he died, we started hearing all these messages about how much he loved Israel and how much he wanted to visit. And to me, to be honest, when I heard the video with that Yahoo guy speaking, I didn't believe a word he said. I just didn't believe none of that stuff because I never heard Kirk say that. I never heard Kirk utter those words. I never heard Kirk say with his mouth, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to partner with this. I never heard Kirk say that. So for him to speak for Kirk, I didn't like that. You know why? Because I've seen something like that happen when Kevin Samuels died. When Kevin Samuels was murdered, a lot of people started coming out acting like they're friends with him. And they would say, yeah, Kevin wanted me to do this, and me and Kevin spoke about that. And I'm like, Kevin never even spoke about you. So how you just all of a sudden become his friend? People always do that anytime you die. All of a sudden people come out of the woodworks acting like y'all were good friends to deceive people, to get their way. Charlie Kirk is dead. Anybody that's coming out of the woodwork saying Charlie said this and Charlie wanted to visit here and Charlie wanted to do this, I would never believe none of that stuff. If I didn't hear Charlie say that while he was alive, I don't believe it once he's dead. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not believing that. You know what I'm saying? Because Charlie's assassination is deeper than what we all believe. I personally don't even believe that the guy that the official story that they put out about the guy who took him out, I don't believe, that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. I don't believe that the guy that they got, I don't believe that guy did anything. I believe he's just a fall guy. I have never seen no one that is not affiliated with a major organization just get up on top of a roof, strategically plot and plan this whole thing and take out a guy with one shot. Nah, I'm not buying it. That's a professional hit. That was not done by a novice. Just look at the movie Manchurian Candidate and you'll see the whole play. That whole play was that movie. You know? But let's get back into the content. Let's go, because he's going in talking about the ADL listing Turning Point as a hate group, and he's very excited about this. Remember, the same way he was using Candace Owens when she was speaking against the Jewish rabbi is the same way he's using the ADL against Turning Point, because his agenda is to prove that Charlie Kirk is no good. Charlie Kirk was not a racist. Charlie Kirk was not spewing hate at the black community. Charlie Kirk just debated people. That's all he did. Whoever was brave to step into the ring, he debated them. You understand? This YouTuber is very hateful, and he don't even like white people. But he's going to act like he do in order to get his numbers up.
And they have been labeled a extreme group of hate, of terror.
Okay, notice he said that they've been labeled an extreme group of hate, of terror. Well, what about this, guys? The Black Hebrew Israelites is also listed as an extremism, hate, and terrorism on the very same ADL website. So I'm trying to figure this out. Why is this YouTuber using the ADL to condemn Turning Point USA as a hate group, terror organization, but yet his faith and his belief system is also listed on the ADL's website as extremism, hate, and terrorism? Why? Come on now. This doesn't make any sense that he's even trying to use the ADL when the ADL also lists his belief system as a hate group and terrorist organization.
So now I'm going to tell you why this is so vindicating, ladies and gentlemen. There's been so much hate spewed, all because people were telling the truth.
No hate been spewed. He been lying the whole time. This man literally made a video, guys, claiming that Donald Trump and Erica Kirk had an affair. This is what this YouTuber did. This YouTuber, those of you that seen the videos where I shared the information, put a 1 in the chat if you know this is a fact. This YouTuber made videos alleging that Donald Trump and Erica Kirk slept with one another on multiple occasions and basically had children, and how Charlie Kirk's kids, the 2 kids, they need to get a DNA test to prove if those are his kids. That's what this guy did. That guy said that. Not me. He disrespected Erica Kirk after Charlie died and the children. Disgusting.
I'm going to let you know, everybody who has been telling the truth, who has been being persecuted, you were not wrong.
Now, he's saying everybody that been persecuted for telling the truth, you are not wrong. And he's using a site operated by the J people as a source of information when this YouTuber don't even agree with them, because he have this video on his Rumble account, guys, which is a video that is anti-J people. So he don't agree with them, and he basically was spewing how they don't even tell the truth. This is what this YouTuber believes. So I'm trying to figure out why he's not standing on what he believes in his videos on YouTube. He's dancing around his belief system. He don't want the ADL to know that he is a terror agent, a terror cell that is affiliated with these Black Hebrew Israelite camps, and he strategically and covertly is on YouTube pushing his own agenda. He don't want no one to know. You're going to watch how he do this in this video, guys. Let's go.
And Jesus is King said they removed it. That's not true. What they did was they cleaned their glossary. And I'm going to go to the ADL to prove that. They did not take back any statements about Turning Point USA. They only cleared their glossary as an update. And I'm going to prove that from direct statements from the ADL. So don't come in here trying to lie, right? Don't come in here trying to lie. Just because they retired the old extremist glossary doesn't mean that they took back anything that they said about Turning Point.
So in his mind, he's believing that the ADL still believes that Charlie Kirk is a terror organization. So now let's make this make sense. Didn't that Jewish guy, something Yahoo, could somebody tell me what his name is so I can get the name right? Whatever Yahoo his name is, right? He got on national television and basically said that Charlie Kirk loves Israel and how he want to visit and do this, and he's going to be in support of this and support of that. Okay, if that's the truth, then why would the ADL believe that Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA is a hate group and a terror organization? Does that make sense? Why would you want someone coming to Israel who is anti-Israel? So somebody's lying. You know? So it's Netanyahu. Okay, Netanyahu. All right. Appreciate it. This doesn't make sense, guys. They took down the information from their site. NUBREED is suggesting that the ADL still believes that Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA is a terror organization. That makes no sense.
See, ADL refers to Turning Point USA. Hold on, let me see. Get this out the way.
So it's Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay.
Let's read here. Because this is interesting. It says the ADL labels Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA an extremist hate group.
Okay. The ADL. What about mainstream media? What about Americans? Do they list him as that? Or are we just going to take what the ADL says, which is controlled by the J people? Who is that, their opinion, or is that a fact? Think about what I just said. Is that an opinion or is that a fact? Because he's taking it as a fact. Did America conclude that Charlie Kirk is a racist terror organization? That Turning Point USA is that? No, that is the opinion of the ADL based on what they believe. And I'm not going to take what they believe and say, okay, that's exactly what it is. No, I'm not doing that. That would be irresponsible of me. But what NUBREED is doing is he's using what they listed as the truth. So if they list that as the truth, then I guess them listing that Black Hebrew Israelites is also a part of a hate group and a terror organization, then why isn't NUBREED focused on this? It's on the ADL website, which means if you are a black man or black woman and you believe that you are a biblical Israelite, you believe that you are descendants of the seed of Jacob, if you believe that you're of the 12 tribes, then you are listed on the ADL website as a terrorism, hate, and extremism group. No matter how you see it, you're all listed on that group because that's your belief system. I'm trying to figure out why NUBREED is dancing around this information and is ignoring it. He's just ignoring it as if though it doesn't count. Like, oh, well, I agree with the fact that the ADL talked about Turning Point USA, but what they said about the Hebrew Israelites, I'm going to ignore that and act like I didn't see that part. That's what he's doing, guys. And we have to hold him accountable.
Backlash from Donald Trump Jr. and Elon Musk. It says the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, a leading civil rights organization, has officially tagged Turning Point USA, founded in 2012 by the late Charlie Kirk, in its extremism.
Those of you that don't know what the ADL is, look on the screen, please. Please educate yourself. Please.
Glossary, right? Now, the designation has been sparked vocal criticism from conservative voices, most notable Donald Trump and Elon Musk, intensifying the cultural and political debate on extremism and free speech in America. Now, according to the ADL Center of Extremism, Turning Point USA appeals to a wide range of conservatives from moderate Republicans to far rights and has played a role in Republican politics by galvanizing young people.
Why is NUBREED so invested in what the ADL has to say in regards to Turning Point USA as if they are the authority on what and how everybody is supposed to talk and speak in America? That's the question you all have to ask yourself. This is why I believe NUBREED is anti-America. Last time I checked, if you are American, you're in the land of the free, the home of the brave. So who gave anyone the authority to put anybody on a list? The only way you can make the list is if what they believe stops their interests. Do you understand that? So why would NUBREED use that as a source of information? That's like you're taking information from an Islamic website that talks about Charlie Kirk, and you're taking their information and saying, well, in Islamic news, they're labeling Charlie Kirk as a hate group. I don't care. I don't have no care for that. You understand? What is their point and purpose of listing him? Obviously, it's political. So when you watch this live stream, guys, I need y'all to pay attention to these facts I'm putting out here.
However, TPUSA also has promoted Christian nationalism, the belief that Christians should dominate government.
Now, why would the ADL put that out there? Because in their mind, they believe that a Christian nationalist want to dominate government, which mean that it affects their bottom line. They're not speaking because of, oh, it affects Americans, it affects you in your personal life. This is something that they feel affects the J community. That's why they list that on their website. But NUBREED is not talking to you in context. That's why I'm breaking this stuff down for you. Do you understand? This is why I'm sharing this information. He's anti-American. New Breed is anti-American, anti-Trump, anti-peace, and he's anti-Charlie Kirk too. This man got on YouTube mocking the death of Charlie Kirk. Right after the man got assassinated, he popped open his live stream, went live, and started spewing hate. Disrespected the man's wife, called her a Jezebel, called her a witch, said that the children was not Charlie Kirk's children, and how Donald Trump and Erica Kirk was having sex. This is what that YouTuber did, guys. A very sick man. And he did it all for views and clicks to gain subscribers. And what he loves to do, guys, and this is why I try to share these videos in hopes to educate the YouTube community. Not only do he push hate, he pushes division. He wants whites and blacks to argue and fight all day. That's all he do. He weaponized different groups and hate groups to cause more division and separation because he want to see a race war. That's all he do, is incite hate. And I try to get all people to come together to understand we all need to respect one another. We're not the same. We're not. One thing that is a universal law is respect. If we respect one another, everything will go right. A clear, perfect example of that is when you're on the road driving your car. When you are driving your car, the car that's in front of you, the car that's on the side, you don't know who's in that car. Unless you're looking in the car, obviously. But my point is this. When you are driving your car, you know to respect everybody's space. You know not to drive and bump into nobody, to dent their car, to smash in their car. You know how to follow a certain laws and rules to make sure that everybody get home safe. We all know this. So if you take those same principles and apply that to your everyday life in terms of respecting one another, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It doesn't matter. If you just respect one another and look at each other with respect, without all the judgment, without all the criticism, without all the hate, and just say, you know what? Let me respect this person and treat them the way I want to be treated. Because we all have a different belief system. We all have different political views. We all have something that's different. But if we can respect one another, that'll make the world a difference. And unfortunately, that YouTuber don't believe in that. He just promotes hate.
And other areas of life in the U.S. and has propagated conspiracy theories related to C-19, the ADL.
See, again, when you have people that are not paying attention, this is where we get problems. Look at this person in the live chat. He says, so why point to Muslims and Jews if it doesn't matter? Liar. Obviously, you're not watching the stream. You're not watching the stream to learn anything. The issue here is this guy, just in case you just showed up, because obviously you're new here. We've been streaming now for 1 hour. Your tail just showed up at the live. So you missed class. So obviously you don't even know what's going on. That YouTuber don't even like Jewish people. That's what we just established. We shared the information. But he's using a Jewish site as a source of truth when he teach on his platform that those folks are not the people of the Bible. So he don't like them and he don't believe in them. But he's using their website as a source of truth to further weaponize them against Turning Point USA. Do you understand that? My point is this. If Turning Point USA is not listed by the federal government, Donald Trump, all the different government of people in America as a terror organization for actually committing crimes. What crimes? For anybody to be listed as a terror organization and nobody's being murdered, no one's being killed, nothing's happening to anybody, why are they even listed as a terror organization? A hate group? That's very, very harsh to say to anyone. So the folks who actually list that was the ADL. So what is their agenda for listing that? Because them listing that on their website doesn't affect the average American. The average American knowing that, oh, the ADL lists Turning Point USA as a hate group, as a terror group. The average American don't even care because it has nothing to do with us. That's the ADL's opinion of them for a reason. So when you look at all of these stuff, when you look at the situation with, what do you say the name is? Benjamin Netanyahu. He just said the other day how Charlie Kirk loved Israel and wanted to visit and wanted to do all of these things like they were good friends. If that's the case, why was they listed on a list of hate group? Sounds to me like somebody wanted to use Charlie Kirk. That's how it sounded to me. Sound to me that somebody wanted to use Charlie Kirk. And at one particular point in time, Charlie Kirk probably wasn't interested. So guess what? We're going to put you on a list. That's exactly what it is. Because there's no way you could tell me that he's friends and that he loves this and loves that, but he's listed as a hate group and a terror group. That doesn't make sense. Do you understand? So my point is, if an Islamic newspaper is publishing Charlie Kirk as a hate group, I don't care. That's their opinion. They're not Americans. Their opinion is political. There's a reason. There's a hidden agenda. That has nothing to do with hate. That's just a fact. How do America see Charlie Kirk? That's what it is. And nobody in America listed Charlie Kirk as a hate group and a terror organization. Nobody. People have opinions. Some people called him a racist. Some people called him this. Some people called him that. Some people called him a good guy. Everybody has an opinion. That's what I'm saying.
Documents a troubling record of individuals associated with Turning Point USA making bigoted statements targeting the Black community, the LGBTQ plus community.
Okay, notice what he's reading. He's reading what the ADL put out, and he's talking about the LGBTQ community. Now, the question you have to ask is this: do NUBREED support the LGBTQ community? No, he don't. He preached against that. So why is he acting like he's in agreement? Listen to it again, guys.
19. The ADL documents a troubling record of individuals associated with Turning Point USA making bigoted statements targeting the Black community, the LGBTQ plus community.
Do you see what he just did? He said targeting the Black community. Charlie Kirk, again, Turning Point USA, have not said any racist or anything targeting the Black community. People do not watch the videos to learn anything. So all I'm hearing here is propaganda as a smear campaign to discredit Turning Point and Charlie Kirk. That's all I'm hearing. Because I watched the videos from Charlie Kirk and he never said anything that was derogatory or racist towards Black people. He had opinions about the LGBTQ community. So I'm trying to figure out, do NUBREED support the LGBTQ community now? Do he support men getting with men? Simple question. Do NUBREED support two men getting married? I guarantee you, if he come on YouTube to talk about it, he ain't going to say, oh yeah, I support that. He going to say, no, I don't. The Bible says this. The Bible says that. So he's anti-LGBTQ community, period. So he's being a hypocrite for even reading this.
Specifically transgender people and other minority groups. The TPUSA publicly rejects white supremacist ideology.
He's using the ADL because they're speaking the language he's speaking, guys. Can't y'all see? He said white supremacy.
White nationalists have openly attended its events. Extremists and far-right conspiracy theorists have also featured at Turning Point's annual America Fest conference and others. It says the ADL notes that while Kirk's publicly condemned such extremes groups, insisting they did not represent TPUSA, the organization's platform nonetheless served as a vast platform for extremists and far-right conspiracy theorists. Further, the ADL stresses that turning point aggressive use of tools like the controversial professor watch list, which aims to expose educators allegedly spreading leftist or anti-American propaganda such as critical race theory and teaching gender ideology viewed as dangerous by the organization. Now, what does all of this mean? Charlie Kirk platformed extremists. He platformed hate groups. And so, although they abstained Charlie Kirk from it, Turning Point USA is officially a hate group.
Notice that he said it's officially a hate group. Why? Because the ADL said so. So the ADL became judge and jury on who's a hate group, not the American people. Are y'all getting that? Not the American people. The American people didn't decide. The ADL says it. So let's take the ADL and just crown them as, hey, they said it. Hey, it must be true. It got to be true. Well, if that's the truth, then please explain to me this, because the ADL also lists Black Hebrew Israelites as an extremism, hate, and terrorism group. So if you're Black and you have any sort of belief that you are a biblical Israelite, you are listed on the ADL's website as being a part of a hate group and terror organization. I want to know why New Breed is not addressing this. Why New Breed is not addressing this. That's right on the ADL's website. They didn't take that down. That's up. That's how they feel about so-called Black folk who claim they're Black Hebrew Israelites. So if you have that belief system, then guess what that is? That's your belief system, and that's how they feel. Why New Breed is not addressing the issue. Why he's not addressing it.
It's a hate group. So everybody who spoke the obvious about what's going on, you should be vindicated right now. You should be validated right now. Now, I'm going to make this clear. I don't always agree with everything the ADL, well, let me word it this way.
You notice that. Notice how he's trying to dance. Are you seeing the dance, guys? Did you see him dancing? He's dancing now. That's what he's doing. Do you see how he's dancing now? Let me word it right. What do you mean word it right? He said, I don't always agree with the ADL. What are you talking about? You don't always agree. You know why he's talking that nonsense? Because he knows about this. So he's going to try to dance, but we're not going to make him dance. We're going to break down everything he's going to try to do, guys, to deceive you.
And teaching gender ideology viewed as dangerous by the organization. Now, what does all of this mean? Charlie Kirk platformed extremists. He platformed hate groups. And so, although they abstained Charlie Kirk from...
Let me see. Somebody named Spiritual whatever says, at Ringo, Black Hebrew Israelites are a hate group. But would he need to address it when he agrees? That's the part that you're not understanding. He danced around the issue. See, he's going to tell you, oh yeah, there's some hateful Israelites out there. Oh yeah, there's some camps that promote hate. What hate? Did he explain what the hate is? Because according to the J people, anything that you believe in regards to being a Hebrew Israelite as a Black man is considered hate. In other words, if you as a Black man, Black woman, believe you are a Hebrew Israelite, don't you normally say that the J people are not? Okay, that's hate automatically. Automatically. Any one of you fall in the very same category, automatically. Because if you deny that they are the people, they consider that anti-Semitism. You can't dance around that one. If you say that the biblical Israelites are Black and they're not white, that's automatically looked upon as hate to the ADL. So they're not talking about one particular guy. They're not talking about the guy standing on the corner telling the black woman, stop wearing pants. They're talking about any of you who believe you're Israelites, who believe in the core values of what you believe in. It's an attack on you. So when you say black Hebrew Israelites are a hate group, but would he need to address it when he agrees? He need to address it because they didn't attack a person. They attacked the belief system. And that's what all of you are dancing around. You're acting as if though the ADL is in support of you as a black man, black woman, believing that you are a black Hebrew Israelite. No, they don't. They don't support that. Because how could you be if they believe they are the chosen people? Do you understand? Now, if you're black and you converted to Judaism, then maybe you'll be accepted in their eyes. But if you're walking around with a chart saying that these are the people and these folks are not, and you're doing stuff like what NUBREED did, which is this, NUBREED made a video titled Candace Owens Exposes the Synagogue of Satan. Okay, who is he talking about? Who is NUBREED talking about when he says Candace Owens exposes the synagogue of Satan? He's talking about the J people. That's what he's talking about. So right there, that's considered hate according to the ADL. What NUBREED is doing right there is hate according to the ADL. Why? Because it affects the J people's image. That's what I'm trying to establish here. And everybody's acting like they're not educated to understand this basic information. He is promoting hate. So what he's doing goes against what the ADL is putting out. It goes against it. He's no different than the very same black Hebrew Israelites that he claims is a hate group. He's dancing around it. So he needs to address it because we're going to get into all of it. Like I said, I'm not done. We're going to break all of this stuff down, all of it.
Turning Point USA is officially a hate group.
Notice he says Turning Point is officially a hate group, not because it is listed on the terror watch list. No, the ADL says it. So the ADL decides who they feel is a hate group. That doesn't make no sense. You got to bring forth facts of what this group did that affected the lives of people. What did they do? What did they do? Who got murdered? Who got killed? Who died? Who been terrorized? All of that is propaganda. I'm not listening to that. That doesn't make no sense. So for him to even use that page and what they had to say about Turning Point, it makes no sense. He's weaponizing it to attack Charlie Kirk. That's what this is about, guys.
It's a hate group.
If it's a hate group, the black Hebrew Israelites is a hate group, which means anybody who believes in that is a hate group.
So everybody who spoke the obvious about what's going on.
He's trying to say that to me. In other words, because I defended Charlie Kirk, he's trying to say anybody who spoke the obvious, anybody who defended Charlie Kirk, anybody who defended this man, right? You're you're affiliated with this hate group that Charlie Kirk has. That's what he's doing.
You should be vindicated right now. You should be validated right now. Now, I'm going to make this clear. I don't always agree with everything the ADL, well, let me word it this way. I don't always agree with their designations.
He dancing.
But let's make this clear. White nationalists are an extremist group.
What? White nationalists are an extremist group? Why is he pushing that? That's what you got to ask yourself the question. Why is he pushing that? Black Hebrew Israelites is listed as a hate group too. Let's talk about that.
The whole America First movement, it derived from the Ku Klux Klan.
Now he's tying it to the Ku Klux Klan now. Do you see what he's doing? That's supposed to get black people upset.
They are a hate group. And they put certain Israelites on this group. Israelite camps and different groups and organizations. And I'm going to say this.
Watch he do this. Watch the dancing. Watch the dancing, guys. Watch the dancing. Let me see. Anti-something says, because he's black, white nationalists is our enemies. See, that's the problem. You don't follow Jesus Christ. What did Jesus Christ says? He says, love your enemies. Do good to them that persecute you. You don't follow Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ says, love your enemies. Do good to them that persecute you. But you're calling them your enemies. That means you're full of hate. That means in your mind, you see everybody as enemies. You're in a war. You're not preaching the gospel. You're not standing on what Jesus Christ put out there. That's the problem. That's the problem, guys. What would Charlie Kirk say? Would Charlie Kirk say, hey, New Breed is my enemy? No, he would practice what the Bible teach. I remember somebody was debating Charlie, and he was like, well, how do you feel about Asians? He was like, what am I supposed to feel? What are you talking about? He was like, well, they're Asians. He's like, well, it is what it is. What about Muslims? They're Muslim. It's like the person was trying to get him to spew some sort of hate. He's like, look, whatever you are is what you are. He said, I don't even see color. I don't even see groups. I don't see none of that stuff. I just see the person. And the person got frustrated and walked off. It was funny to see because he was trying to get Charlie to say something incriminating, and he didn't.
I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all.
Listen.
Some of those camps, groups, organizations were spreading hate.
Were spreading hate in what way? What is hate? Again, guys, we got to look at context. Notice what he's doing. What he's doing is dancing. He's dancing for the J people right now by saying some of those camps was spewing hate. We need to find out in context what is the hate they're talking about. Because New Breed don't believe that the J people are Israelites according to the Bible. He don't believe that. So if he don't believe that, that's considered hate. So what is he doing? He's trying to distance himself from these camps and these groups and the organization and the religion as if though he's an independent, similar to what he did the other day. The other day, he said, oh, I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the right. Why? He's want to be in the middle, talking about he's independent. There's no such thing as independent. I don't care how many people in today's day act as if though, well, I don't got no political affiliation. I'm just in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a middle guy. No, you're not. You're on the left or the right. Bottom line, there is no middle ground. Not in this world. There's no middle ground. You're on the left or the right. Liberal, conservative. Which one? Make up your mind. There's no middle ground. I don't want to hear none of that garbage because I'm tired of people standing in the damn middle talking about, well, I'm not on no side. You in America. Because when there's a government shutdown, guess what? It affects everybody. It affects all Americans. So while you sitting there talking about, well, I'm in the middle, well, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Because when the government shut down, guess what? It's a left and right issue. So while you talking all this garbage about, oh, I'm in the middle, I don't know what's going on, well, then you're going to stay right there and suffer. Because right now, they all blaming one another. And we're going to talk about that more in other videos. But there is no such thing as a middle ground. You are on the left or on the right, no matter how you see it. All we got to do is hear you talk. All we got to do is be at the job and we get into these political debates. We get into these arguments. We talk about government matters, news stories, politics, and you will hear people speak and you'll hear the language of the left or you'll hear the language of the right. All you got to do is listen to a person talk long enough and you'll know which side they on just by the way they talk. That's all you got to do.
They were spreading hate.
What hate? What hate? He's not going to tell you what kind of hate. What hate? What hate? He's trying to distance himself from the black Hebrew Israelites as if though it don't apply to him. Let's go.
That's why they got on that list.
No, they got on that list because those are the guys that are on the front lines because they're not a coward like you. They got on the list because they're the ones who are popular. That's why the ADL target them, because they're making the impact. They're the ones opening up the blind eyes. They're the ones out there waking up the peoples on the highways and byways. I don't care what anybody say. All of those so-called black Hebrew Israelites that you seen on the corner, that you seen on YouTube talking, all of these ninjas on social media that claim today that they are Hebrew Israelites was influenced by all of those groups. All of them. Watch this. Watch this, guys. Let me pull up this receipt. Watch this, guys. Let me see if I can pull this up. Where is it? Is this it? Let me see. Watch this. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay, watch this, guys. Watch this. This is a list. Now, again, this NUBREED guy, he talks a whole lot of crap about me, right? A whole lot of crap. This receipt is from 2 years ago. Let me put this on the screen to show you this. Watch this, guys. Check this out. This is directly from NUBREED's YouTube channel. Look at this, guys. Notice it says 2 years ago, edit, which means he probably removed somebody's name or added some words. Check this out. It says content creators that have influenced or inspired my work on YouTube over the years, given credit, right? Where credit is due. Notice my name is on that list. You see that? That very same YouTuber hates me. But notice he put my name on the list at the top, guys, at the top of the list. Are you seeing this? But he busy telling you a bunch of garbage about Ringo TV. But this guy been following my work to the point where it influenced him. But notice he got the Gathering of Christ Church on the list. The Gathering of Christ Church, which is a black Hebrew Israelite camp. But he's going to tell you he's not affiliated with none of these camps. He's not interested in none of them, and so on and so forth. Back in the day, NUBREED used to mention GMS. He used to mention all of those groups. All of those groups that would be considered the hate groups that he's speaking of, he was influenced by all of them. You know why? Because those were the only groups that was out there talking about being a black Hebrew Israelite. Those were the only groups. No black man just woke up one day and said, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. No, it was those camps, those very same ones that these hypocrites on YouTube are acting like they never seen. They watched GMS. They watched those guys day and night, learning from them. And that is how they woke up to this belief system that they're biblical Israelites from those guys. And what they done is they separated themselves because they didn't like the militant nature of these groups. So what he's doing now is he's dancing for the J people by saying, look, I don't want no smoke. Please don't put me on your list. I'm not affiliated with none of these guys. That's a lie. That's a lie. Let's go.
I had this interesting dream last night.
His dream it came from the devil. Watch this sick dream that he claimed he had.
It was a very interesting dream that I had. And I woke up to this, man. And I actually...
He's rubbing his chin. He's lying. When you see somebody doing this, they're lying.
Confided in an elder about the dream I had.
He said he talked to an elder about the dream he had. This man don't got no elders. He don't have nobody that pretty much he submits to or somebody who is a spiritual advisor or anything like that. This man is a liar.
Right as I was getting this news. So I want y'all to hear me out. So I was dreaming that I'm walking through a city. I'm walking through a city and there's some tall buildings and I see a lot of my people walking by and they like, yo, dude is wilding. And I'm like, who's wilding? And I can hear this man preaching and he's yelling and I really can't even understand him. It's almost like he's speaking in a different language. I can't make out what he's saying, But as I walk up, I see this man with an Israelite garment on. You know, he got the fringes, he got everything on, right? He got the fringes, he decked out, he got on all the garments and everything. And I'm like, yeah, the city kind of looked like Chicago or New York or somewhere. And people are just walking by like, yo, dude, wilding, he wilding over there. And I'm like, who is this dude? So I'm walking that direction and I can't really see his face. His back is turned towards me. And then he turns around and it's Charlie Kirk.
Are you listening to this guy, guys? This guy says the man he was dreaming about was Charlie Kirk. Are you listening to this madness? All of a sudden, he's having dreams about Charlie Kirk. And y'all believe in this garbage? This man is getting dreams from demons, guys. Period.
It's Charlie Kirk wearing an Israelite garment. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell does that mean? It's like, you know, what does that even mean? And then I thought about it. And then I reached out, and then I actually woke up to a text message showing that the ADL labeled them a hate group. Turning Point, a hate group. Same thing they did to the Israelites that were out there on the streets hurling out. Some of them were hurling up obscenities, and some of them were, you know, pretty much a hate group.
Notice he's not talking about what these Israelite groups did on the streets. What did they say? When you're saying they're a hate group, he's dancing around the fact that he know the ADL listed Black Hebrew Israelites as a hate group too. He's trying to distance himself by saying, well, they weren't really talking about us as a people. They're just talking about those guys that stand on the street corners. No, those guys on the street corners preached a message that New Breed believe. Do New Breed believe that the J-Man is a so-called man of the book? Do he believe that or no? I don't think he believed that. Matter of fact, I know he don't believe that. He said this on many occasions that he don't believe that they're the people of the book. He called them the synagogue of Satan. Again, look right here, guys. This is from New Breed himself. Check this out. This right here is on New Breed's Rumble account, where he claimed, and he made a video, Candace Owens exposes the synagogue of Satan. So New Breed do not believe that the J people are the people of the Bible. That is very clear. So that is hate right there off the top. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's considered hate to the J people. Right or wrong? They would consider that hate. So while he's trying to say, well, you know, they'll have those guys that be on the corner talking and they've been spewing hate, he's not telling you what they said. He's ignoring that. He's not telling you what they said. What did they say that's hate? What did the guys on the corner say that is considered hate, New Breed? How come you're not talking about that? You're dancing around the truth because you don't want nobody to know that you believe the same things they teach. Well, I don't know why you being such a coward.
And
see, look,
I said, man, I confided in the elder and I told him about this dream I had, and then waking up to this message. And the elder said something very, very different. I mean, very interesting. He really broke it down for what it is. And he was like, look, bro, that dream pretty much means there's a shift going on.
I'm not ignoring anything. I'm not here to push your agenda. You have an issue with white people. I'm not here for all of that. I'm here to focus on what this guy is doing. So whatever agenda you're doing, I suggest you go and start a YouTube channel and push your agenda on how you feel that the ADL is defending white people. I'm not here to talk about none of that. I'm here to focus on what this guy is doing in terms of him dancing around the truth concerning what the ADL had to say about Black Hebrew Israelites. So you go push your agenda somewhere else.
Where these people are now being the face of hatred because, you know,
Notice his facial expression. You could tell he looks stupid because he know good and well what the ADL is doing. The ADL do not agree with any black person claiming that they're a biblical Israelite. They don't agree with none of that stuff. But New Breed is ignoring it.
Evident that that's who they always been. And it also points to the fact that it ain't too much different. You know how it ain't too much different than what Charlie Kirk was doing. There's some of these hateful groups out here.
Notice he's trying to separate himself. Like, oh, some of these hateful groups. He's acting like he's not one of them. He's acting like he's not one of them. According to the ADL, they already listed everything in regards to the Black Hebrew Israelite faith. So my thing is this: why New Breed is ignoring the truth? Let's look at some of this information, guys. Check this out. Again, this is right on the ADL's website. You understand? They list Black Hebrew Israelites under extremism, hate, or terrorism. For additional information and historical background on the extremist sects of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, please see our backgrounder. We already have that screen recorded too. Now watch this. On December 10th, 2019, a kosher market in New Jersey was attacked by 2 individuals. Now notice this, guys. The ADL. Now this is why I wouldn't take nothing they say as facts. Anything. I don't listen. There is nothing that interests me about the ADL's website. Notice how I'm just saying that straight. Not sugarcoating. I'm not tap dancing. I'm not buck dancing for nobody. Me personally, I don't believe nothing they saying. Why? Because they're judging an entire group based off of an incident. Watch this, guys. This is very dangerous. Nobody should ever list a group of people on a website. And this is why I'm trying to show you why New Breed is not addressing this like a man. Because he's a coward. He's not a man. You should never address an entire group of people because somebody committed a crime. And you automatically assume that everybody must be the same. That is dangerous. Because that can happen in any community. You can have a white man who's a Christian that might go and go on a mass shooting. He's a Christian, but he went and killed people. Does that mean that all Christians are mass shooters now? No. You can have a person from the J community that might tweak and go out there and commit a heinous crime. Does that mean you list everybody in that community as haters now? You should never do that. Now watch this. On December 10th, 2019, a kosher market in New Jersey was attacked by 2 individuals. The store owner and an employee and customer were killed, as was Detective Joseph Seals. There are reports that the alleged perpetrators may have been members of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Do you see how dangerous that is? That is dangerous. And listen, the ADL put that out there. That's very dangerous to put out. Now, my thing is, why you black so-called folks from the black community that believe you're Black Hebrew Israelites, those of you that believe you're FBA, those of you that claim you're fighting against white supremacy, why y'all not speaking against this? Because what they're basically saying is, if these men committed crimes, they may be members of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. In other words, suggesting that the movement of the Black Hebrew Israelites is to go out there and harm people from the J community. Can you understand that? That's basically what they're saying. Why? Because they said a kosher market. Kosher. A kosher market. Do you get that? A kosher market. What kind of market would that be, guy, if it's kosher? What kind of market would that be if it's a kosher market, ladies and gentlemen? Answer the question. It would be a market ran by the J people. It's a kosher market. So that's the only reason why they're listing this on their website. Not because it was an Asian market. Not because it was a Hispanic market. If it was a Hispanic market, they wouldn't even list it on their website. You know why? Because they don't care. They're only listing it because it affects their people. So why was Turning Point listed? Because they felt that what Turning Point was talking about or whatever they were doing was affecting their people. Do you understand context now, people? So now, when it talks about the kosher market incident, it says There are reports that the alleged perpetrators may have been members of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. There are many sects which refer to themselves as with variations of the name Black Hebrew Israelite. Some, but not all, are spoken. Some, but not all, are outspoken as anti-Semites and racists. It should be emphasized that the extremist and anti-Semitic sets of Black Hebrew Israelites are unrelated to the thousands of Black Jews and other Jews of color in the USA. Now, when they say other Jews in color, they're talking about Black people that have converted to Judaism. They're not talking about Black people that believe they're biblical Israelites. They're not talking to you. They're talking to Black folk that converted to Judaism, that go to the synagogues. They're talking about them. In other words, they're saying, look, there are Black people that have converted to Judaism and they go to the synagogues to worship and so forth. That's what they're saying. What New Breed is going to try to play is like, well, they're not talking about all of us Israelites. They're not talking about all of us Black Hebrew Israelites. They're talking about only the ones that are hateful. But he's not telling you, what do they mean by hateful? Hateful in what way? What do they mean? So now let's get back to the content. So it says, let me see. Black Hebrew Israelites are unrelated to thousands of Black Jews and other Jews of color in the USA who are genuine members of the Jewish faith. Do you see that? So basically what they're saying is these particular Black people are members of the Jewish faith. They're not talking about you Black Hebrew Israelites or you Blacks that believe you're the chosen ones or you Blacks that believe in that Hebrew Israelite chart. They are not talking about you. So you are listed there as a terrorism hate group. Do you see that? That's what they're doing. So when they did the distinction between the two groups, they're saying, now let me read it again, guys. Watch this. Some, but not all, are outspoken anti-Semites and racists. It should be emphasized that the extremists and anti-Semitic sets of Black Hebrew Israelites are unrelated to the thousands of Black Jews and other Jews of color in the USA who are genuine members of the Jewish faith. So they made a separation. They draw the line in the sand. They're saying, hey, the Black people who we don't think are anti-Semitic are the ones who converted to our faith. But now the ones who represent Hebrew Israelites, Black Hebrew Israelites, or anything that associated with that stuff, they're part of the anti-Semitic and racist hate group. So any of you who believe you're a chosen one, any of you Black people who believe you're descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, according to the ADL, you are a part of an anti-Semitic racist group. Why New Breed is not addressing the issue like a man? Because he's a coward. And you guys follow him as some sort of leader. I'm addressing it straight. No sugarcoating, no playing. I'm trying to show you what is going on. So when you think that this doesn't apply to Black Americans, it applies to every last one of you who believe in that. So now let me put this to the side and let's get back to what he had to say in the video. Let's get to that.
This is part of the reason I disassociated myself from all those Black Hebrew Israelite groups.
He's lying. He's not. Listen, they're not talking about the groups. They're talking about your faith. They're talking about your faith. He's dancing around it, guys. I just showed you what the ADL site is saying in regards to this situation. They made a distinction between Black Jews who converted to the Jewish faith. They are converts who converted. So that means these are Blacks who hold the Jewish community up as the chosen people. Those blacks, they don't consider them anti-Semitic. But now if you're black and you're the type who believe that you are the chosen people, they look at you as anti-Semitic. Do you understand? So what you see NUBREED doing here is he's dancing around the truth by acting as if though he disassociated himself with a hate group when he's still a part of the group because he believes in the doctrines. He believes in the same doctrines. That's what he believes in, guys. Check it out.
And
he's touching
there's
his
no
chin.
real difference in hindsight. He was very controversial, sowed a lot of discord among people, et cetera, et cetera.
He never did none of that stuff. You're lying on the man. Charlie Kirk didn't sow discord amongst nobody. He spoke his opinions. People got mad. Just like when I speak truth, people get mad at me and they believe that I shouldn't even be speaking. They're sick.
And of course, I still believe in the Bible. I still believe who I am biblically, my true identity and things of that nature. That's without question. But there's a shift going on.
No, I cannot stand when somebody say there's a shift going on. There is no shift going on. That's just talking points to make you confused. Like something changing, something just happened. No, he's literally dancing around the truth. He's dancing around it. He just said, oh yeah, I believe in the Bible. I believe in the biblical truth. When he don't even realize that his entire faith was attacked by the ADL. His whole faith was attacked by the ADL. Basically, the ADL condemned the faith of the Black Hebrew Israelites, and he's not even addressing it.
There's a shift going on where these people have to be brought to the forefront, right? Now, everybody double tap the screen, get the likes up. There's a lot of censorship going on because, they don't want us breaking down these stories. And
who's they that don't want you to break down the story? You're a coward. You're not even standing on your own faith. You literally sold out for 5 shekels. You're doing exactly what Peter did, denied the Messiah 3 times. Literally. The ADL condemned your faith, and you're not even standing on business to defend your faith. You're supposed to be on YouTube saying, hold up now. I read what the ADL had to say about Black Hebrew Israelites, and they're basically coming against our people. They're basically saying that we're not who we claim we are. But yet he's telling you in this video that when the ADL was talking about Christian nationalists, that they were not targeting or disrespecting Christians as a whole. This is why Elon Musk said what he said. Elon Musk took it to social media and basically said, look, if you guys are coming against Kirk and Turning Point USA and talking about Christian nationalists, you're basically saying that being a Christian is a problem. That would make you a hate group. Once Elon Musk put that out there, the ADL took down what they had to say about Turning Point USA. Why? Because they were called out. Not only that, the FBI basically cut ties with them. All of this is documented. The FBI cut ties with them because of what was put out there, guys.
Really happening in real time. And I'm gonna even get into what I believe is going to happen in the near future. Now, this
man is a coward, bro. Like anybody that's following him should stop following him because he's not standing on business. He's not teaching you what the Bible says, and he's not defending his faith against the ADL in regards to what they said. Let's look at more of what the ADL said, guys. Let's look at more. Because he's not going to address it because he's a coward. He's probably being paid under the table. He probably sold his soul for all we know. Now watch this, guys. Again, let's go. It says, furthermore, they should not be confused with Ethiopian Jews who mostly live in Israel today. In other words, those black people in America who identify as Black Hebrew Israelites or Hebrew Israelites or believe they're the chosen ones, those people, watch this, guys, should not be confused with Ethiopian Jews who mostly live in Israel today. So they're making a clear distinction. The Ethiopian Jews who live in Israel, we don't got no problem with them because they practice Judaism or the faith of the J people. But those black folks who live in America, who adhere to this ideology of Black Hebrew Israelitism, those groups, we don't support that. Why NUBREED is not addressing this issue? Because he's a coward. He is a straight up coward, and nobody should be following that man. Because if he's not going to defend his faith, but yet he's using the ADL to condemn Turning Point USA as a hate group, none of you should be following that man. And y'all got to be very serious, because this is your eternal salvation. This is your faith in the scriptures. This is who you claim you believe according to the Bible. Why New Breed is not defending your faith? Why? Why he's turning a blind eye to this? So it goes on and it says, furthermore, they should not be confused with Ethiopian Jews who most likely live in Israel today. Anti-Semitic black Hebrew Israelites, he's talking about black people, guys, assert that white people are agents of Satan. Isn't that what black Hebrew Israelites say? That the white man's the devil? Isn't that what FBA say? They say that the white man is the devil. Isn't that what they all say? Y'all say this all the time. Y'all always calling the white man the devil all the time. And they're listing it, that you say that they're agents of Satan. Jews are liars and false worshipers of God. Isn't that what New Breed believe? New Breed believe that the J people are liars and false worshipers of God. That's what New Breed believe, guys. So why he's not addressing it? Why he's not addressing it? Black Hebrew Israelites believe that blacks are the true chosen people. Isn't that what all of you believe if you're black and you believe you're an Israelite? Don't you believe that? That you are the true chosen people of God? And don't you believe that you are racially superior to other ethnicities? Don't you believe that? By you saying you're the chosen ones, you're saying that you're superior. So these are the core value belief systems of black Hebrew Israelites. So why is New Breed not defending his faith? Listen, the ADL was not talking about a person or a group by name. They're talking about the belief system, guys. That's what they're addressing. The belief. You see? So now we're going to get back to this. Let me move this to the side so we could get back to the content. Let's go. Hold on.
See, Trump and Elon, they push back on this, and it seems like they're pretty much trying to bully the ADL. Because the ADL revamped their whole extremist glossary, although they didn't take back anything they said about Turning Point. But they tried to pretty much change their glossary, and it was because of the political heat was on. Elon, a man who threw up the Nazi sign once they got elected, that Elon.
Why is he fighting? Now watch this, guys. Why is a black man concerned about a Nazi sign? Who is New Breed fighting for? Why is a black man talking about Elon Musk throwing up a Nazi sign? Since when has a black man been concerned about that? There's only one group that is concerned about that. So why is New Breed saying that? Who is New Breed really working for? Because there's a lot of agents, guys, that have been paid under the table. A lot of agents. And there's a lot of agents that have infiltrated what is known as the Black Hebrew Israelite religion. And they pose like they're your people, and they're not. Isn't this the same guy who loved calling people tethers? What a lot of y'all don't know is that he's the actual tether and the agent.
Him with his money and his finances, and Trump, they push back against this. Now, we got to go into that because Fox News actually covered this, but it's not really going mainstream. So we're going to go here to Fox News of the TPUSA spokesman. Let me read this article briefly, well, at least the title. It says, Anti-Defamation retires glossary of extremist groups after backlash for including Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA.
Why would they take it back? Why would they turn it down? Why? Because Elon Musk outed them. And they got nervous and they took it down. They took it down because that's going to bring backlash. Major backlash. How could y'all list Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk as a hate group? That's going to only cause a problem. That's going to cause tension between the right, and it's going to also cause tension with the J people. It's going to cause tension with Benjamin Netanyahu. It's going to cause tension with that situation. It's going to bring up a whole mess, and then Candace Owens is going to put in her 2 cents into it too. It's going to cause a firestorm because it is not making sense. Why would they be on a list like that? So what that tells me is they were on the list. Somebody found it. Somebody found it, aired it out, and it caused backlash because they're like, whoa, so you mean to tell me y'all had this guy on your list the whole time? What does that say? It says a lot.
Let me see. Let's see what this is talking about.
So I finally went to allstate.com. It was so easy to switch. My previous car insurance was hiking up our rates, and that's what brought me to Allstate. They gave me a quote in a few minutes, and I saved hundreds.
I don't know why he's watching the commercial for.
President Kamala Harris tying President Trump to Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Kimmel's show off the air for less than a week after a comment was made about the suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Here's Harris at a D.C. dinner over the weekend.
When a president with a fragile ego couldn't take a joke and brought down the weight of the federal government to silence the voice of a citizen, folks spoke with their pocketbooks this week, and Jimmy Kimmel is now back on the air.
All right, let's bring in Turning Point USA spokesman and executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, Andrew Colvat. Andrew, great to see you again.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought this video was going to be covering that, but let me read the news that's on the page. All right.
You can see he's not even prepared, guys. He's trying to air something out, but he's not even prepared. He don't got himself prepared, guys.
I thought they were going to cover it in this particular featured video, but let me backtrack for a minute and see what they're saying. Let me backtrack and see what they're saying. Hold on one moment. All right, escape. All right, so actually there's an audio article on this as well, so I could play that instead of reading.
Anti-Defamation League retires glossary of extremist groups after backlash for including Charlie Kirk's TPUSA. The Anti-Defamation League, ADL, removed its entire glossary of extremism and hate on Tuesday after receiving backlash, including from Elon Musk and Republican lawmakers, for listing Turning Point USA, TPUSA, as an extremist group. The outrage comes nearly 3 weeks after TPUSA co-founder Charlie Kirk was assassinated at Utah Valley University while speaking with a crowd on campus. TPUSA's backgrounder page on the ADL website falls under the Center of Extremism tag and describes the conservative group as having ties to a range of right-wing extremists and has generated support from anti-Muslim bigots, alt-right activists, and some corners of the white supremacist alt-right. The ADL also listed dozens of controversial statements tied to TPUSA members or event speakers dating as far back as 2015, and wrote that Kirk used the movement to promote Christian nationalism. In response to the listing, Tesla CEO Elon Musk wrote on X on Sunday that the ADL hates Christians, which makes it a hate group. He continued in a separate post, using such false and defamatory labels about people and organizations.
So hold on, are y'all hearing this? Are y'all hearing this? So for the record, the ADL is calling out these Christian nationalists.
Why is NUBREED defending the ADL calling out Christian nationalists? Can y'all not see who he's getting paid by? What does this... Now watch this, guys. What does this do for Black Americans? Don't NUBREED always say that he is fighting for his people? Seems like he's fighting for somebody else. Why do he care about how the ADL feel about Christian nationalists? Why is he even talking about that? What does that do for Black Americans? And remember, NUBREED is anti-J people. Again, the receipt right here. He have a video titled, Candace Owens exposes the synagogue of Satan on his Rumble channel. He moved the video off YouTube because he's scared. So he's anti-J people. So we already know he don't like them. So why is he using their platform to weaponize that against Turning Point USA? Why is he even speaking for them at this point? You have to conclude something ain't right.
They're calling out these Christian nationalists, and Elon is pushing back. You know, Elon's supposed to be an atheist, number one. Elon is supposed to be an atheist, but he's making posts about go to church. Why? What does he stand to gain in that? Because these Christian nationalists are racist, and they are an actual hate group.
How come NUBREED never preached the gospel? How come he never tell you about Jesus Christ? How come NUBREED never have an altar call service? How come you never see him do that? How come he don't call white people and black people to get saved? If you're white, do you know that NUBREED never talks about white people getting saved? He only talk about black people. It's like he's anti-white. In his mind, he don't care about white people. So if you're a white viewer, he don't even believe that you can be saved. See, on my platform, anybody can get saved. Anybody could come to Jesus Christ. Whether you're white, black, Asian, it doesn't really matter. As long as you repent and you believe in your heart. And you're a good person from the heart, not hateful or racist or any of that stuff. NUBREED don't believe that. NUBREED believe that if you're white, you're inferior and you got to work harder to get close to God. If you're black, then yeah, you're perfect. You're good to go. You know, that's how he believes.
Yep. But allegedly, according to the ADL.
Why would he say allegedly if it's a fact? If it's the truth, there's no need to say allegedly.
2015, and wrote that Kirk used the movement to promote Christian nationalism. In response to the listing, Tesla CEO Elon Musk wrote on X on Sunday that the ADL hates Christians, which makes it a hate group. He continued in a separate post, using such false and defamatory labels about people and organizations encourages murder. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, Republican Florida, chimed in on Monday with criticism of the ADL, writing, "America First is not hate speech. Turning Point USA is not a hate group." She also tagged the ADL's account on X. When announcing the decision to retire...
And just know this Fox News is going to twist the facts up. They're going to manipulate things. Trust and believe they're manipulating. So Jay says Elon is speaking facts. No, Elon is lying because Elon is trying to claim that people are going against a Christian, basically going against Christians.
He actually don't like white people. Let me see. DeVern said he hates white people. That's what I've seen from him. Try to have compassion and understanding of it, but his mind is made up. And that's the truth. A lot of people don't know this about NUBREED because he's very covert with his beliefs. He's very subtle. He likes to manipulate. He gaslights. He loves bombs. He knows how to manipulate the viewer. He pulls scriptures out of context every minute. He really sincerely don't like white people. He really don't. Like, he got videos on his page right now where he prove and show his true color. And it's sad because when he's ready, he like to say stuff like, you know, yeah, my channel is just for my people. But I also appreciate the support of white folk who sojourn with us and understand our plight and support our movement. He say that to gaslight you. He really don't like you. It's just like, as long as you can help him push his agenda and you financially support him, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he don't believe in white people coming together at all with blacks in any regard. As long as you support his agenda, he's pretty much black first. In other words, if NUBREED was the president, America would fall. Because see, if you're in politics, if you're, you know, a president, a governor, mayor, whatever the case is, you cannot be a racist, number one. Am I saying there aren't any racists? There are racists in the world. At the same time, you cannot be biased. You can't be partial in judgment. You got to think about what actually benefit Americans as a whole, not just black people, not just white people, not just Asians. what benefit America as a whole. We could get into all the little details about the black community, the white community, the Asian community as time go forward. But if you're in power, you got to look at what helps Americans as a whole. Because once you start focusing on, well, this group and that group, that's when there's going to be division. And we're going to get in trouble. He's divided. His content is anti-white, anti-J people, anti-truth. It's always about his agenda, his people. He don't care about nobody else. He's not even thinking about preaching the gospel to Asians, to Russians, to East Indians. He don't care about them. He's all about himself. That's it.
It's an actual Christian group that they're going against. A group of extremists, not actual Christians. So the way the group is titled, you're going to see the manipulation Elon did. We're going to go there. We're going to go there.
Tyrant's glossary of extremism and hate. Effectively, immediately, the ADL said they are always looking for how we can and should do things better. The glossary had more than 1,000 entries and had been built up over multiple years at the time it was removed. The ADL said a number of entries were outdated, but did not share which ones those were. This will...
Let me answer this.
Learning Hebrew is not paying bills, right? If you understood the Bible, you would know that the biblical Israelites lost their heritage, their culture, their land, their wealth, everything. You ain't getting none of that stuff back no time right now. So learning this and learning that, it's not happening. The best thing you can do is learn how to keep the commandments of the Most High. Something NUBREED don't teach. He don't teach you to keep the commandments. He don't teach against sin. He don't teach against none of these things.
Person's question says, this is confusing. Do you believe you are an Israelite? If so, do you believe Israelites are hate groups or not? Yes, I believe that I'm a biblical Israelite.
Do you see what he just said? He said, yes, I believe I'm a biblical Israelite. Watch this.
And yes, I believe some of these Israelite groups are hate groups.
You see, he just messed up because what he don't understand is that the ADL didn't talk about just a group. They're talking about the ideology, the teachings, the belief system of the groups. You understand? That's what they're teaching in regards to the Black Hebrew Israelites. The Black Hebrew Israelites believe what they believe. You know, Black Hebrew Israelites believe in this chart. If you are a biblical Israelite according to the Bible and you're Black, you adhere to this chart. So according to the ADL, you're a part of the hate group. They're not talking about a specific group by name. They use the key names of groups that are popular. They don't know about no NUBREED. They don't know this guy. They don't see him as no threat. They look at the people who are the movers and shakers. So when you look at it, right, who they list up in there, they got, let me see if I can find some of the groups. All right, let's go here. Israel United in Christ is listed. They list Israel United in Christ. You know why? It's a large organization of Israelites who've been pushing the doctrines. So they see them as a threat to the J people. That's why they're listed on the ADL website. That's an attack on all of you. Do you understand that? If you're Black and you believe you're a biblical Israelite, that's an attack on you. That's an attack on your faith. Do you understand that? Let's see what it says, right? It says Israel United in Christ. Israel United in Christ was founded in 2003 in New York as a splinter organization of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Founder Nathaniel Ray, a.k.a. Bishop Nathaniel Ben Israel, one-time member of the One West camp. Notice how the ADL has an entire file on Black Americans who practice their belief. Wouldn't NUBREED label that as a monitoring spirit? So NUBREED supports monitoring spirits. And this is the guy that you guys follow. Look at how they're talking about Israel United in Christ. Think about that, guys. So now it goes on and it says they were once members of the One West camp, has built the organization into an international entity. Do you see that? Why is Israel United in Christ listed? Because they're an international entity. New Breed is a nobody on social media. So the J people don't even see him as anyone, right? Since its creation, Israel United in Christ has 71 United States locations. Do you see that? 71 locations, guys. That's a threat. That's a major threat, right? So now it goes on, 73 locations in the United States, and is increasing their international presence through 20 foreign locations. This is why the J people is concerned about this group. You know why? They're making traction. They're opening up blinded eyes. They're waking people up. How come New Breed isn't talking about this? How come New Breed isn't sharing this information? How come New Breed ain't defending the faith by saying, hey, you know what? I'm not a part of Israel United in Christ, but at the same time, they waking up the people of the Most High. How come he's not doing that? How come he's not speaking on these issues? Because he's a coward, pretty much. Now, it goes on and it says, in their own words. Now, watch this, guys. The ADL is quoting, they're quoting Israel United in Christ. In their own words, quote, an organized nation uniting our people, destroyed from colonialism and slavery. Negroes, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you are the children of Israel. We made God angry and put us into slavery. It's time to come back to God, end quote. If you're a black man or a black woman who believe that, put a 1 in the chat. If you're a black man, black woman, and you consider yourself the chosen people of the Most High, a biblical Israelite, a person who is a believer in Jesus Christ, whether you identify as an Israelite, whether you follow a camp, don't follow a camp, put a 1 in the chat. Because I am guaranteeing you believe that. You believe what Israel United in Christ posts by putting that there. You believe in that. So that is your faith that's under attack. Because you believe that you were put in slavery. Is that not a fact? You believe your people were put in slavery. Is that not a fact? Why New Breed is not defending your faith? Because it's not a group that's under attack. It's not a group that's being labeled a hate group. It's your faith. So how could another people label you as a hate group for your belief? That's anti-American. I'm actually defending you. New Breed is a coward. Do you understand that, guys? I'm standing up for you. I don't follow Israel United in Christ, but these are your core values. Check this out. An organized nation uniting our people. Do you not believe your people was destroyed by colonialism? Your people was destroyed by colonialism and slavery. That's the truth. That's the truth, black man. That's the truth, black woman. That's not no lie. Negroes, you were destroyed. Right? He goes on, Hispanics, Native Americans, you are the children of Israel. So now once he say you are the children of Israel, of course the ADL going to list you as a hate group because they don't agree with you being the children of Israel. They don't believe in that. They don't believe that. So they're not talking. So they consider this hate, guys. They consider this hate. You believing that you are a children of Israel as a black man, black woman, they consider that extremism. And New Breed is not addressing that because he's a pussy. He's a coward. I'm standing up. I'm bold as a lion. I'm telling you straight. He's a coward. He's not even defending his faith. They're basically saying that as a black man, You believing that your people were destroyed by colonialism and slavery is a joke. They're literally saying in their words. And look what it says. Examples of anti-Semitism. In a record sermon on July 21st, 2020, Bishop Nathaniel and other leader of the Jews as the devil that the Bible speaks of. Do you see what they're doing, guys? So this is what NUBREED believes. Look again, guys, look at the receipts. This is on NUBREED's Rumble platform. A video is titled Candace Owens Exposes the Synagogue of Satan. NUBREED believes that. That's NUBREED's video, guys. If NUBREED believed that Candace Owens exposed the Synagogue of Satan, and Nathaniel 7, right? Nathaniel quoted saying this, the devil, now notice this, the ADL is saying that this is an example of anti-Semitism. Bishop Nathaniel and other leader refer to Jews as the devil that the Bible speaks of. The so-called Jews, the house of demons, and specifically call Chassidic Jews evil despots or whatever, end quote. Now, think about what's being said here. They're quoting what Nathaniel 7 said about the J people. And they said that's an example of anti-Semitism. Now, if that's an example of anti-Semitism, then the video NUBREED made here is a clear-cut case example of anti-Semitism according to the J people. Do you see that? So NUBREED agrees with Nathaniel 7. But he said he's not associated with none of these groups. He's in 100% agreement with them. He says the same thing. But he's acting as if though he don't know what's going on. He's agreeing with him. He believed what Candace Owens believed. Candace Owens called the J people the synagogue of Satan. NUBREED praised her for what she said. So all of you folks that watch NUBREED have to understand he is dancing around the truth. He is a hypocrite. He's a pretender, and he is a coward because he's not standing on what he believes. He's the type of guy that will fold in the New World Order. NUBREED is the type of guy that will literally bow down to the system in order to get something to eat. And he will sell out his people and sell out the Messiah to get some food. He's a sellout. When you see an example of this, this is what a sellout does. Because when challenged, when it comes to his faith, he's not standing on business. But he told you guys that I'm a coon, that I'm a sellout, and that I'm doing this. I'm standing on business right now. I'm literally showing you what the real is. I don't see him doing that because he's a coward, a major coward. Now let's continue looking at this post, guys. Check this out. So it goes on and says, during the same sermon, another leader disparaged Jews by stating they lie in their media, they lie in their synagogues, they lie all over the place. Everything they do is about lying, end quote. So they're literally showing the public that these are the things that we consider is anti-Semitism. So when they talk about hate, you got to know what they think is hate. If you disagree with them, they just call it hate. So you're not allowed to have an opinion as an American. How come NUBREED ain't talking about that? How come NUBREED isn't addressing this? How come NUBREED ain't saying, you know what? I disagree with what the ADL is saying about Black Hebrew Israelites because basically they don't want Black Americans to have an opinion. No, you can have an opinion. You're in America. If you believe what you believe in your religion, that's your religion. They're calling it anti-Semitism. So you're not. So let me get this straight. So those of you that believe Donald Trump is a liar, if Donald Trump is of the J people community, then that would be considered anti-Semitism. That doesn't make no sense. So let me get this straight. You can't disagree. You can't have an opinion. If you say one thing, it's anti-Semitism. That's crazy. That's what New Breed is supposed to be telling you. New Breed is supposed to address this. He's not. Because he's getting paid under the table, guys. New Breed is getting paid under the table. Under the table. And that's sad. Because if New Breed believed the same things that Nathaniel believes in, he would be considered an anti-Semite. So how come New Breed don't just stand up boldly and say, hey, this is what I believe. If they want to refer to us as anti-Semite or whatever the case is, they could just believe whatever they want to believe. But what he's doing is he's acting like he don't got no belief. He's acting like, well, I don't want nobody to know my belief. I don't have a belief. I'm just a guy who just want people to come to the Most High. Man, you a coward. You are a coward. Period. Right? It goes on and it says, in October 2020, the main Facebook account of Israel United in Christ posted, Black people have been experiencing a Holocaust since the 1400s. And the hashtag Jewish man has perpetuated the situation. End quote. They're literally quoting things, guys. So if you're a black man, black woman, and you believe that you're an Israelite according to the Bible, whether you follow the Israelite religion, whether you call yourself an Israelite or not, you're a believer in Jesus Christ, these are the things you believe. You believe that your people suffered the transatlantic slave trade. You believe that. You believe that. So at the end of the day, how could New Breed deny this and not defend his belief? So he want other Israelites to get attacked by the ADL while hiding like a coward. And you wondering why Israel United in Christ's name is on the site? Let me tell you something. I don't follow these camps. I don't know what they're teaching or what they're doing out there, but I could tell you this. Israel United in Christ have way more balls than New Breed. They're way more connected than New Breed. New Breed ain't nothing compared to Israel United in Christ. They're way more connected, way more diverse in the world. They have way more reach than any of these Israelite groups. They're doing something if they got on this list as an extremist hate group and terrorism. What's sad about this is it includes you black folk too. You may not be affiliated with Israel United in Christ, but those are your beliefs. So at the end of the day, they're talking about you guys too. And that's something that y'all got to understand. Look, they even list ISUPK. They're listed too. Why? Because these camps are making reach. You understand? They're making reach. Look, they're listing all of these camps, guys. They're listing all of these camps. Ain't that something? I want to see if they put the Gathering of Christ Church up there. I'm trying to see if they have them up there. They probably most likely do. Let's see. I don't know if they do or not, but the Gathering of Christ been out there since years ago. So they most likely had to make the list. And even if they didn't, they're probably quiet down. So they move covertly. They probably didn't make the list. Or maybe they did and I just passed it because I can't read everything. I'm just kind of scrolling through. You know? Because remember, the Gathering of Christ Church is also a Black Hebrew Israelite organization. And notice, New Breed listed at Gathering 444. He lists them as that have influenced or inspired my work on YouTube over the years, given credit where credit is due. The Gathering of Christ Church is also a Black Hebrew Israelite organization, which would fall under the very same group of hate group, terrorism, and all that other stuff, according to the ADL. And that group influenced New Breed. So how could he deny that he don't got no connection? He's trying to act like he's not a part of nothing. The man is a damn coward, period. And he will fold under pressure. He's the type that will sell his people out. So now listen, somebody's asking him, somebody's literally calling him out in the comments saying, look, this is confusing. Do you believe you are an Israelite? If so, do you believe Israelites are a hate group or not? Because what the person is trying to say is this. It's not whether if you believe you're a Hebrew Israelite or not. The issue is you're basically saying and agreeing with the ADL calling Israelites a hate group. If that's the case, they're talking to you too. They're talking to you, black man. So why are you in denial about that? Why are you acting like they're not talking about you? They're talking about somebody else. No, they're talking about you. So the person is confused. He's confusing his viewers. He's literally confusing his viewers, guys.
Based on the rhetoric that they spew publicly.
What rhetoric? What rhetoric do they spew publicly? NUBREED is a coward. He's not addressing the elephant in the room. What rhetoric do they spew? Because the very same rhetoric you're talking about those Israelites spew, you believe. So why are you acting like you don't believe the same thing?
So I hope that answers your question.
It never answered the question. You're a coward. You're confusing your viewers because they know good and well you teach the very same Israelite doctrines, the same thing, and yet you're acting like you're not a part of it.
Just because I identify as a biblical Israelite doesn't mean I want to be associated with pro-black militant groups.
No. You see what he's doing? You see what he's doing? Look, you may not be a member of Israel United in Christ. You may not be a member of IUSPK. At the same time, you do share the core belief systems. Let's stop acting like you don't believe in the same things. You believe in the same things. You don't believe that the J people are the people of the book. Just admit it. Stop being a damn coward. Once you say, listen, as a black man, as a black woman, once you say that the J people are not the people of the Bible, they look at you as an anti-Semite automatically because you're basically denying that they're the people of the book, and you are. So in their mind, they're going to see that as hate, which is not, because that's what you believe. How could you deny me what I believe? NUBREED is just a coward. He don't want to stand in the fire. He's scared.
So that I'm clear, right? So that I'm clear.
He's a coward, bro. He literally is denying the Messiah multiple times, guys. Just like when Peter denied the Messiah. Listen, NUBREED denied that he is a supporter of the truth. He denied it, period. He denied it. And that's a fact, guys. Now, I have videos on my platform where I said I'm no longer a Hebrew Israelite. I don't identify by the name Hebrew Israelite. But guess what, guys? According to the Bible, I would be an Israelite. According to the Bible. What I denied is the affiliation with these groups like NUBREED and these people on YouTube who express nothing but hate to their people all day. Yeah, that's what they do. They spew hate to their own people. We don't know how to unite as a people to bring forth change in our community. But according to the Bible, I would be an Israelite according to the Bible. They call me a tether. That's what they call me. They basically say I'm not even a black man no more. The black community did this to me. The black community called me a tether. And my father is an American, served in the military. He's an Army vet. I'm an American, born and raised. My father, American, born and raised. His father, born and raised. My mom is from Panama. You understand? He called me a tether. And he got all these people that are Israelites to say that I'm not even a black man. And when they're doing all of that stuff and spewing all of that hate, I'm like, listen, why am I calling myself a Hebrew Israelite when these people that are Hebrew Israelites hate me? They don't even like me. They don't even call me a brother no more. So I'm like, you know what? I don't call myself a Hebrew Israelite no more. I don't do that. I just say I'm a believer in Christ. That's it. Because when you associate yourself to that name, Hebrew Israelite, it comes with hate, hostility, and violence. Do you understand? Because what individuals like NUBREED like to do is distort information. That's why I'm telling you this right now, just for a public record, just so when he tries to manipulate information by coming on video saying, look, Ringo, he's supposed to be a Hebrew Israelite, so he's a part of a hate group. See, he denied himself being a Hebrew, so he don't even believe he's following God anymore. No, I follow the Bible. Let me make that very clear. I follow the Bible. I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and personal Savior. I believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And according to the Bible, as a black man, I would be of the chosen people of the Most High. I just don't identify by the whole Hebrew Israelite movement thing because that group hates me. You understand? Nowhere in the Bible did you see Jesus walking around saying, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Peter wasn't walking around saying, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite all day. No. John the Baptist wasn't like, hey, I'm John. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Moses was walking around, hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Nobody was walking around with titles like that. But we are believers in Christ. And for me, personally, that's better than calling myself a Hebrew Israelite all day when I'm hated by Hebrew Israelites. They don't even like me. They mad I got this hat on. They pissed off. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, what you see him doing is he's dancing and he's not defending his faith. The things that Nathaniel said in regards to our people being destroyed by slavery is true. That's not hate. That's the truth. The black man was destroyed. That's the truth. And every last one of you, black men and women who believe you're biblical Israelites, you don't believe that the J people are the people of the book. You do not believe that. NUBREED don't believe that they're the people of the book. So why he's not saying it? Because he's a coward. And you hold him up as a leader and he don't got no balls to speak? All he want to do is talk about me or talk about Charlie Kirk or talk about Diddy. But when it comes to his faith, he can't stand on business like a man. Notice this other clown comes in. You hate your own people. Let me put your ass on the block list. You're a damn devil. Because I don't hate my people. I hate you. You're a devil. You're a demon. You're not my people. You're of the adversary, the devil. That's what you are. Coming in here saying you hate your own people. No, you hate me. Because all through this video, I've been standing on business. Standing on the truth. That's called love. My people hate me. Just like they hate the Messiah. Just like they hated all the prophets. Anytime you're a man of truth, they will hate you. Your own people will hate you. Even the Bible says a prophet won't even be accepted in his homeland. They will reject him. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go.
Let's continue.
Will allow ADL to explore new strategies and creative approaches to deliver our data and present our research more effectively. It will keep us focused on ensuring we do what we do best, fighting anti-Semitism and hate.
Fighting anti-Semitism and hate. That is the job of the ADL. Their job is not to fight for what white people feel or what black people feel. So in other words, if you're black and you're being discriminated against, the ADL is not fighting for you. If you're Asian and you're being discriminated against, the ADL is not fighting for you. The ADL fights for their people. Anti-Semitism and any sort of hate that they deem hate against the J people. That's it. So I have no interest in what they're dealing with. That's their business, not me. That's why they list Charlie Kirk Turning Point on their website, because something about Charlie Kirk back then made them feel threatened by Charlie Kirk's organization. That's why they were listed. And they took it down after Elon Musk called it out. But the Black Hebrew Israelites is still listed on their website. Why? Because they see you as a group of people who they need to watch. And if anybody's watching us like that and they have you on a list because of your beliefs, that ought to make you think. Why? Why would you be on a list, black man? Why would you be on a list, black woman? Out of all the things we do as black Americans, out of all the things we've been through, why would anybody care about what we believe? That's a very, very interesting question, guys. Let's get back to the content.
Impactful ways possible. The group wrote on X, in part. The glossary included groups like the Nation of Islam, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and others. It also included TUSA and the America First movement, while leaving out controversial groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Being included in—
Notice somebody came on there and says Turning Point is a hate group that turns all its leaders into saints. See, if you're black and you're running around saying Turning Point is a hate group, you're crazy. And for NUBREED to even have made this video, he makes himself look horrible because he's using the very same website that basically condemned his own belief system. That's sad. I would have never used Turning Point as a source of any sort of information because the ADL, I would have never used the ADL's website as a source of information to try to condemn Turning Point. That doesn't make any sense because the ADL is only focused on what they deem as anti-Semitism or hate that they feel affects their people. So they're not speaking for me. They're not speaking for the black community. If I'm being discriminated as a black man, the ADL is not going to list white people that discriminate against me. They're not going to say, oh, the Caucasian white man in New Jersey hates black Americans, and we at the ADL are fighting for and protecting the rights of black Americans. They're not doing that for me. So NUBREED, if you're watching this, you are a traitor to your people. You are a traitor. You are the Sambo. You're the Sambo. Because you betrayed your people. This is a cut clear case of betrayal. Because the ADL lists your people as a hate group, and you don't got nothing to say. Instead, you're trying to condemn Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk because they were listed at one point. So you're weaponizing the ADL's website to do your dirty work against Charlie Kirk. But you have nothing to say about the ADL basically condemning your own biblical beliefs and your people that you claim you're trying to save. Make that make sense.
Database does not mean that individuals or groups are engaging in illegal or violent conduct, but rather that in ADL's judgment, the views as exemplified by the statements made in support of those views can be considered extreme, the glossary's homepage states. Fox News Digital reached out to the ADL for comment, but did not hear back by time of publication.
Now I want y'all to think about this. Based on the facts.
What facts? What facts?
ADL put out that these people are an extreme hate group.
Are you seeing this? He said based on the facts, the ADL put this out there that Turning Point USA is a hate group. Yet, the very same ADL put out that black Americans who claim they're Israelites is a part of the same hate group. Make that make sense.
And Elon and Trump, they push back on this. They push.
Why are you yelling? Let me put you on the block list. We don't got time to play with your damn games. We don't got time for your demons, right? When you come in here, you have some respect. If you don't want to hear what I got to say, leave. Just that simple. We don't care about none of your nonsense, right? If you come in here with your demons and you want to argue, be disruptive, and talk all that stupidness, I'm a man. You have some damn respect for a black man that is speaking truth. If you had a good father in your life, you would know how to respect. If you had a man in your life that was your husband and you submitted to him, you would have respect for a king. But you don't. That's why you're blocked. Now, let's get back to the content.
Back on this, but nonetheless, the ADL did not walk back what they said, but they made some changes to their glossary as a whole. And we're gonna so that we understand what's going on here. Let me show y'all, because there's a lot of manipulation. Because you will have the right saying, "See, they took it down. They got pressed out and took it down." No. Let's go to what the ADL actually posted, so that there's no manipulation here. One moment.
Listen, he's trying to say that the ADL still believes that Charlie Kirk Turning Point is a hate group terror organization. If that's the case, then what Benjamin Netanyahu said is completely false, because that would be a conflict of interest. It would make no sense for a man to claim that, oh, Charlie Kirk is friends with Israel. He want to visit. He want to do this, partner with this and that. But yet the ADL lists him as a terror group organization and a hate group. That don't make no sense.
I know I have this up. Hold on. Is this it right here? Yep. No, that's not it. Where is it? I know I got it up here. That's crazy. Y'all hate when that happens, when you got a source and it just vanishes.
Yeah, it vanishes because you're not prepared.
Let me give me one moment.
This guy made nothing but videos once Charlie Kirk died. Guys, before Charlie Kirk died, NUBREED never made a video about Charlie Kirk. He never made a video criticizing him. He never made a video talking about, oh, he's a racist. He never called him a white supremacist. This guy never knew nothing about Charlie Kirk. You search his platform, there is no videos of Charlie Kirk mentioned, talked about, reviewed, reacted, nothing. Only until he died. All of a sudden now, he's talking about Charlie Kirk in a negative way, claiming he's a white supremacist. How come when Charlie Kirk was alive, he never said that? Because he waited for Charlie Kirk to die, and because he don't like white people, he weaponized his platform to attack Charlie Kirk and white people as a whole.
Because I have that glossary source, and I thought I had it ready, but y'all got to wait one moment. And matter of fact, y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen and get the likes up. Matter of fact, I might could just show it here, bro. That's crazy. I hate when that stuff happens. Yes, get the double tap, get the likes up. This is quite interesting, man, because y'all got to understand what I've been through.
Now watch what he do. He's talking about what he been through. This is all about himself, guys. All he care about is himself. Listen.
You know, people trying to weaponize the government just because I was weaponized the government against me just for telling the truth about this racist organization.
Do you see that? He's saying people trying to weaponize the government against him. That guy accused me of being a federal informant, guys. He accused me of being a federal informant. He accused me of being a federal informant and also Brainwaves Advice Topic LLC that you see in the live chat. He accused both of us of being federal informants who are working for the government to try to bring him down, that we gather intel to report back to the government. This man made videos spreading all of these lies and propaganda, guys.
Okay.
You said talk about the gospel, brother. This topic is not about the gospel. This topic is about what I'm talking about. If you want to hear about the gospel, go start a channel, preach the gospel, see how many people show up. Nobody ain't showing up. If you want to know the gospel, go into the Bible, read the book of Matthew, Luke, John. You got the gospel. That's it. Nobody that is viewing right now is viewing because they want to hear the gospel. They're viewing because they want to hear what the title of the topic says. That's what they want to hear.
One moment. It's right here in my email. Man, where is it? I don't even see this no more, bro.
Notice he don't even got his information prepared. You know?
Crazy, because I had it literally on a tab where I should have been able to just share it. Give me one moment.
He's unprepared, guys.
They literally have a statement showing what the ADL did. Let me check my X account real quick.
And remember, all of this is him trying to prove that Charlie Kirk was a bad guy, when Charlie Kirk was not a bad guy. He was not a racist towards blacks. I don't know why black people making it seem like Charlie Kirk's entire mission was to attack black people. Like, y'all pathetic with that. Like, seriously. That man debated everybody. Asians, whites, white people didn't like the man. Y'all making it seem like this man was some racist against blacks. White people didn't like Charlie. Not because he was hateful. They didn't like the fact that when they debated him, he would always win. That's what they hated. They hate that when he speak, he made them look dumb. That's what they hated. This guy is so unprepared.
Yeah, I got it right here. Dang. All right. It was in X. All right. Now peep this, y'all.
Now, again, what he's trying to prove is that although the ADL took down the information about Charlie Kirk, that they still believe that he's a hate group and turning point is X, Y, and Z. If that's the case, why in the world would they be trying to connect Charlie Kirk to Israel and saying how supportive he was? That doesn't make no sense if they have him listed as a hateful person in a group.
Updates on the ADL glossary of extremism. With over 1,000.
Oh, y'all peeped that video with him disrespecting my wife? I'm not even wasting my time with that garbage. That's all a distraction. Listen, guys, when I tell you that the guy is known for disrespecting people's wives, people's children, everything. He said that Donald Trump and Erica Kirk were sleeping with one another while Charlie Kirk was alive, and how Charlie Kirk's kids are not even his kids, that they need to get a DNA test. This is what that YouTuber did. Then he made a video the other day disrespecting my wife. He did that the other day. But he didn't do that on his big channel. He went to his small channel to do that. And it's all a distraction because he don't want me to bring out this information. This is the information he don't want me to bring out, guys. I'm not even wasting my time. He could disrespect my wife all day. He could never do that in my face. He could never do that in my face. Not in my face. Online, yeah, he could do that. In my face, oh, that can never happen. And he should be ashamed as a man. He should be ashamed because that man was around my family at one point. He should be ashamed. But again, he's a man of no honor. So what do you expect? Only a coward would do that. And also, it's also a word on the street. Let me also put this out there. There's a YouTuber. His name is Epic Mindset. Let me talk to you, brother. Epic Mindset. You made videos about me in the past. You're a fellow New Yorker, a fellow Brooklynite. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, for those that don't know. To Epic Mindset. As a fellow Brooklyn, New York brother, you had words about me. You had negative words about me. I want you to understand now why myself, Brainwaves, Rollo spoke out against NUBREED. Now you should know why. Because he spoke out and disrespected you. He made a video disrespecting you. I hope you understand now that when you were joined up with him, you thought that y'all were brothers, but he turned against you. And if you notice, guys, y'all remember the video when I was mocking NUBREED's bald head? In that video that I did? The next day, this guy went to the barbershop to try to get a haircut, to try to fix himself up. NUBREED, I think you should keep that hat on. Your hairline start back here. Start back here. This man had pink hair clips in his hair. They were literally doing his hair. They probably did one of them spray paint jobs where they spray paint the front of your hairline to try to make it look like it's full. They did one of them things in that shop. This man literally went to the barbershop to try to clean himself up, to show his hair because I called him out. That's how insecure he is. He's a weak man. And for whatever reason, somebody else made a video. I'm not sure his name is Cloaks something. Must have made a video. He deleted it. I never seen the video. I know because NUBREED made a video going in on him. And to that dude who made videos, because I see that you make videos about me or whatever the case is, I don't even care. I don't even know who you are. You can make 1,000 videos about me. I'm never watching them. I don't really care. But the point is, you apologized to NUBREED and he dissed you. You apologized to him and he condemned you. Right? And at Epic Mindset, he disrespected you. And he once promoted you. He once promoted you as a brother. And he disrespected you, clowned you. How do you feel now as a black man? And this is why I keep telling you guys, at the end of the day, when you think about it, he never really liked you. He weaponized you because you were talking about me. That's what he used you for. You were used. That's what New Breed does. He weaponized whoever he can that can speak against people he don't like. Imagine this, guys. New Breed once supported Epic Mindset. Put a 1 in the chat if you can remember in all the videos, all of the saga of Ringo versus New Breed, that New Breed supported and promoted Epic Mindset. Put a 1 in the chat if you can remember that. Because I need to make sure that it's public record in the live chat that New Breed actually supported this guy. He literally supported Epic Mindset because Epic Mindset was defending New Breed, speaking against me. Now, New Breed disrespected Epic Mindset. You must have been drunk when you did that video. And you were hurt because whatever it was, whatever that Cloaks guy did, they must have been mocking your bald head. And because Epic Mindset was in the video, you took offense about that. And you went in on him. The truth is, you have a bald head under that hat. And it looks bad. I don't know who told you to try to line up your hairline and it's back here. I don't know who told you to do that. I don't know who told you to do that. It looks crazy. You know? You're a very insecure man. But to disrespect Epic Mindset the way you did, that's sad. And if Epic Mindset is viewing, I hope you're proud of what you've done. Because when you spoke evil against another brother from Brooklyn, and you put New Breed on a pedestal, now you know why we speak against him. Now you learn. Just like when Brainwaves got thrown under the bus and he learned and he made a video and he said, now I know what Ringo feel like. Now you should know. I see you got a crib. You got yourself your own apartment now. You're doing better. And I'm talking to Epic Mindset. You keep doing your thing. You know, before you used to be walking around in the street. I don't know your living conditions back then, but it looked like you got yourself together. You got an apartment. You're doing your thing. Look at how New Breed disrespected you. That was the guy you were defending. Look at how he cut you off instantly. That is how he did all the brothers. He's a snake. And that's how he would do every last one of you if he feel. This man was so arrogant in his video. He was talking to Epic Mindset. He was like, how you gonna not take advantage of the opportunity I gave you? One of the biggest YouTubers. He considered himself one of the biggest YouTubers. That is a laughing thing to me. New Breed is not a big YouTuber. New Breed is mediocre on YouTube. He's not even relevant. He's not. But he was saying to Epic Mindset, why is it that you didn't take advantage of the opportunity he gave you so that your channel can grow? He disrespected you. Sad, bro. Absolutely sad. I got the whole video downloaded. So if he deleted it, I got it. So when it comes to him disrespecting people, I don't care. He could talk about me. He could talk about my family. He could disrespect my wife. He could do all that goofy stuff. He could never do that in my face. Never. He do it on YouTube for entertainment because that's good for business for him, but it makes him look bad. All he got to do is look at the comments. People in his comments was coming against him. People in his comments was like, bro, this ain't right. If you got an issue with a man, you talk to that man. You talk about the man. You don't talk about his family. That's a coward. Imagine me making a whole video dedicated to his woman. Going in on his woman, dedicated. That's a coward move. That's him trying to get my attention to change my momentum to change my content. No, I'm going to talk about this topic, the topic he don't want you guys to know about. Let's go.
Entries written over, and this is directly posted by the ADL. It reads, with over 1,000 entries written over many years, the ADL glossary of extremism has served as a source of high-level information on a wide range of topics for years. At the same time, an increasing number of entries in the glossary were outdated. We also saw a number of entries intentionally misrepresented and misused.
Do you see that? Meaning the article about Charlie Kirk was being misused.
Moreover, our experts have continued to develop more comprehensive resources and innovative ways to provide information about anti-Semitism and extremism and hate.
Do you see that? So the ADL's focus is not about the American people. The ADL's focus have nothing to do with us as Black Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans, or just Americans in general. Nothing to do with you. It's about anything they deem to be anti-Semitism or hate against the J people. That's it. That's their focus.
The ADL, we are looking for how we can and should do things better. That's why we are moving to an entirely new glossary.
See, they changed the rules.
Retire the glossary effective immediately.
They retired the glossary once Elon Musk called them out.
Pardon me. This would allow ADL to explore new strategies and create approaches to deliver our data and present our research more effectively. It will keep us focused on ensuring that we do best fighting anti-Semitism and hate in the most impactful ways possible. So they changed the whole system. They changed everything. They revamping the whole system.
And it's because Elon Musk called them out. But guess what? They didn't take down what they said about Black Hebrew Israelites. They didn't take that down.
Now, but they are still, nonetheless, according to the ADL, Turning Point USA is officially still a hate group.
That's what he's saying. That is what he's saying, guys. He's saying that.
A hate group, an extreme hate group of terror.
An extreme hate group of terror. Look how he put that. An extreme hate group of terror. What terror did Charlie Kirk put in the world? What terror? Look how he's labeling that. Like these guys are out there unaliving people.
The white nationalists are a hate group of terror.
And the Black Hebrew Israelites is a hate group of terror. It's listed right on the ADL's website. Now what?
So everything that I've been saying that people have been labeling, imagine this. They've been labeling us racist. They've been labeling us racist for talking about this. Now the ADL has pointed out that historically, they are racist.
Do you see that? You know what's so funny? It's interesting that you said that. You said, Mr. J says, Ringo, I told you years ago that NUBREED was trying to bite your style. It's interesting that you said that. Let me show a receipt on the screen. Let me see. Let me show you this receipt. It's interesting that you said that. Let me see if I can bring this up. Where is it? Hold on. Okay. Watch this. Let me put this on the screen. This right here, guys. Now, all right. You see this? This post is on NUBREED's page right now. This is 2 years ago. He lists me. He have it on his channel right now in the community section where it says posts, right? Where he lists me at the top of the list, right? Content creators that have influenced or inspired my work on YouTube over the years, given credit where credit is due, right? You see that? Now watch this receipt right here. This is a comment. These are comments that's featured on that post. Notice what somebody wrote. Look at the person in the middle. ED4 Press says, I knew I sense some Ringo off you. 100%. Do you see that? Which means people that watch his videos can sense he copy my style, copy my swag, copy my mannerism at times. This dude copy all my talking points, everything. He's a parrot. You see that? Do you see that? Somebody literally says, I knew I sensed some Ringo off you, meaning Ringo inspired you. You see that? So I'm glad you brought that up because I need the public to know that New Breed has always been copying me. Now today he's jealous because there was a fallout. Because I found out that he was a snake and he fell out with all the brothers, all of us. You know what I mean? All of us. And he went out there and he did a smear campaign against me, calling me pedophiles, calling me a supporter of incest, claiming that I'm all these negative things. And I'm like, if I'm that, why would you tell everybody that I inspired your platform? That I literally taught you. I taught this guy how to do YouTube. I literally taught him how to be a content creator. Literally. I trained this guy on how to be good at doing content. And then when his platform started to grow, he started to feel himself. And then when we had the fallout, the guy went on a smear campaign to act like I never knew him. This guy was literally featured on a song. Literally, I literally allowed him to collaborate with me in music. Then he later on went on YouTube saying that my music is trash, but he collaborated with me. The dude is a narcissist, a flip-flopper, and he cannot be trusted. So when you see him attacking Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, this is all out of hate. He don't have no content. He claimed that he's here to teach his people, but he's not even teaching them about the Bible. He don't like the J people, right? As seen by this post, he called them the synagogue of Satan. And clearly, he sided with Candace Owens. But he's telling you he's not associated with none of these hate groups, when clearly he's against them. You see? And he's doing this by dancing around the truth because he don't want no smoke. And he don't want to be listed on the ADL's website because they will list him if they know he got a YouTube platform with 200,000 subscribers. That means he has the power to influence people, and he don't want that.
Are an extremist group, and they're powerful. It even goes into how coordinated they are. So all of the, think about it like this.
I mean, this guy copied me with even the lighting in the background, guys. With the neon lights. All of that stuff, he get it from me, guys. All from me. All of that stuff. The dude is a student. You know what I mean? Literally. This dude literally walked in this house when I got this house. The man walked in this house. He wanted to be me so bad. Next minute, he was under pressure because he saw me growing and growing and growing. This man went and leased a Section 8 house using his woman's Section 8. Then he went into debt to go get a car, came on YouTube talking about, oh, the Lord just blessed me. How the Lord bless you with debt? How the Lord bless you with a house when you don't own the house? The Lord didn't do that. You leased the house just like everybody else lease houses and lease cars or buy cars and go into debt. This man is so covetous that he literally went and copied the furniture that I got in this house. Put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen all my videos and I showed you the proof that this guy bought the same furniture like me, guys. The same furniture. Put a 1 in the chat, guys, if you've seen the videos. Look at it, guys. Look at the live chat. Look at the live chat. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Listen. This guy went and bought the same furniture like me, guys. The same dresser, the same mirror, everything. Trying to be me, bro. When I tell you people like to destiny swap and covet, he's breaking all the commandments. The Bible says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. He's been coveting me the whole time. breaking the commandment. He don't follow God, guys. He don't.
All of the emails that were sent out, that was collecting money after Charlie Kirk's assassination, all of that was crowdfunded hatred. Anybody that donated to TPSU, you donated into a hate group.
Do you see what he's saying? If you donated into Turning Point USA, you donated into a hate group. That's misleading and wrong to say. That's a gross use of your platform to say. So that means if anybody donate to your platform, they're donating into a hate group because you're listed on the ADL's website as a hate group, an extremism group. So that would mean that anybody that donate to you is doing wrong. Do you see what he's doing? He's dividing us as a people, guys. Those of you that support Charlie Kirk, what this YouTuber is essentially trying to do is make you believe that if you supported Charlie Kirk, you supported a racist, you supported a hate group, and he's basing this all off of the opinion of the ADL, which is a website that is pretty much put together to target and list what they believe is anti-Semitism or hate against the J people. That's all their job is to do, guys. How could he take information from their website and weaponize that against Charlie Kirk? That's irresponsible and reckless.
Man, you donated into a extreme hate terrorist network.
Terrorist network that did what? What terrorist act did Charlie Kirk commit in this earth? None. That's propaganda, guys, that he got from the ADL's website. That's why they took that garbage down, because it infuriated people. Literally, people were very upset with that.
That's what you did. And they're highly coordinated and organized.
Do you see what he's doing? He's trying to make it seem like Turning Point USA is out there committing crimes. That's what he's doing.
I'm telling you, man, this is what's going on, man. Can y'all believe this? Can y'all believe this? Now I wanted to talk briefly. Let me go here. Can't make this stuff up, y'all. You really can't make it up. Netta says, the Caucasus Mountain heathens are raging big mad. Thank you, ADL. Right. They are pissed. They don't
Notice, they're thanking the ADL, guys. Notice this. Look at this, guys. Where is it? Trying to find that image. I lost my position. Look at this. Oh, the Caucasian mountain heathens are raging big mad. Oh, thank you, ADL. Now, notice this, guys. Notice what Netta said. Oh, the Caucasus Mountain heathens are raging. Now, who is New Breed talking about right there? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Which group of people is New Breed talking about so that we can prove that he's a racist? Which group of people is New Breed talking about when he says Caucasus Mountain heathens? Who's he talking about? Put it in the chat. He's talking about white people, for all the cowards who just don't want to type it in the live chat. Stop being a pussy and just speak straight. Be a man. Be a woman. And say what needs to be said straight. He's talking about, listen, they're talking about white people. And New Breed agrees with it. When this woman says, oh, the Caucasus Mountain heathens, that's how she feel about white people, guys. Do you see the hate? This is why I keep telling you that New Breed's whole platform is anti-white. It really is. And then she thanked the ADL. But the ADL is the very same website that had all of this negative stuff to say about black people. How come Netta ain't talking about this? Because they list black Hebrew Israelites as extremism, hate, and terrorism. Those are harsh words to list on a people, because black people are not out here killing people or even going to these communities killing them. We're not doing that. So why would they do that? That's so irresponsible. And what this tells us is that as black Americans who have a faith in Jesus Christ, who believe you're Israelites, you're literally being monitored by the ADL. They don't like the fact that you believe what you believe. That right there should be alarming to you. And for you to be anti-Charlie Kirk, anti-Turning Point USA, when you're also listed on the ADL website, that's insanity. So for that woman to be thanking the ADL when her people is being condemned as a hate group is sickening to me.
They are pissed. They don't know what to say.
Notice, he agrees with her. So New Breed agrees that white people are pissed. So when they say Caucasus Mountain heathens, that's another word phrase for white people. New Breed is anti-white. He is a racist. Like I said, he's a racist.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So they are a hate group. It is what it is. Now let's go here.
Listen, anytime I go live and talk about anything, New Breed will go live and try to mimic what I talk about to attack whatever or speak against me or speak against brainwaves or whatever the case is. You know, this is what he do. And shout out to Brainwaves, because I'd seen part of your video. I didn't watch the whole video, but I seen probably half of the video that you made where New Breed lied. New Breed made a video, guys. Let me address it. New Breed made a video claiming that I compared P. Diddy to Jesus Christ. I've never compared P. Diddy to Jesus Christ. This is what he said, guys. He said that I compared P. Diddy to Jesus Christ. I've never compared that. Never did that. He lied, guys, so blatantly. And his viewers are so dumb, they believed him. Why would I compare P. Diddy to Jesus Christ? There's no comparison. But he got on his platform and he said that I compared Jesus Christ to P. Diddy. I never did that. Never. But this is what he said. It's just crazy how this guy distorts information. And you folks still follow him. Like, I don't get it.
Because Turning Point USA, you're caught up. You are caught up. Now I want to go here to Israel national news here. Oh, snap. I thought I shared that. Hold on. Let me share this screen here. Yeah, they're a hate group.
Notice he has no problem showing you literature of the ADL calling Turning Point USA a hate group, but he's not showing you what not Turning Point, the ADL had to say about Turning Point, but he's not going to show you what the ADL said about black Hebrew Israelites being a hate group. And the ADL made a clear distinction between black Ethiopians. Did he say Ethiopians? Or I'm not sure exactly what group. Yeah, Ethiopians, black Ethiopian Jews, or blacks that have converted to the Jewish faith. They made a clear distinction between blacks who converted to the Jewish faith in comparison to black Americans who believe they're Israelites. They drew a line in the sand. So if you're a black American and you believe that you're a biblical Israelite, or you believe that you're of the chosen people, descendants of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they basically consider you anti-Semite, a hate group. Why New Breed is not defending his faith against the ADL. Instead, he's using the ADL to attack Charlie Kirk, who is dead now, but yet he's not speaking against the ADL because he's scared and he's afraid of the backlash because he's a coward. I'm actually defending you right now by speaking against it. It's crazy.
TPUSA name extremist by ADL sparks fierce online reactions. The decision has triggered condemnation from high-profile figures, including Elon Musk, who threw the Hail Hitler sign up, who labeled the ADL a hate group. Wow, that's crazy, over what he called a mischaracterization.
The ADL is only listing Turning Point because there's something about Turning Point that they deem anti-Semitism. They felt there's something about Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA at that time, that there's something about it that they feel is a threat to the J people. That's the only reason why they listed. They did not list it because they're fighting for Americans. Do you understand? So for him to even be talking about this he's a traitor, guys, because the ADL is only concerned about their people. That's it. So why is he even talking about this if he claimed he supports black people?
The Anti-Defamation League, ADL, has included Turning Point USA in the extremist and hate glossary, drawing
They determined that, not Americans.
Sharp criticism from supporters. The ADL, which describes its mission as combating anti-Semitism, securing justice and fair treatment for all, cited TPUSA alleged promotions of conspiracy theories, support for Christian nationalism. So guess what? The ADL is against Christian nationalism.
So that's the ADL. That's the ADL who is against that because they feel it's a threat. They feel it's a threat against their people. That's why. So what's your issue?
And attraction of racist elements as key for its classification. Why did they get classified as a hate group? Because they have they have key racist components that have established them.
Every group have racists. Let's establish that. Every group, black, white, Asian, every group have racists in their group. Every group. There's no group that like everybody. Every group have elements of hate. So let's just stop the nonsense.
As a hate group. Look, and I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all look in the chat, MAGA is in here, and MAGA might be next. That's right. If you rocking that, if you on MAGA, you might be next. See, this is what I think.
Remember, his videos is against me. All of these videos that he's making about Charlie Kirk is really in combat against me. Notice he said, if you're wearing, and then he stopped, meaning the MAGA hat, make America great again.
May be happening next.
I don't care about no ADL group. They could list MAGA, they could list whatever they want. I don't care. I'm American. What I'm focusing on is the empowerment of American people. That's it. I don't care about all that other stuff. You know, when you're speaking against Americans and the interests of Americans, that's what I'm concerned with. I'm not interested in propaganda or somebody's opinion. NUBREED is a coward.
The left might end up back in power. And the reason I say that is because what you're going to see, based on all the hatred that we seeing going on, all the mass pow-pows by the hands of right-wing extremists.
Notice, he said the mass pow-pow by white-wing extremists. He's talking about white people. Do you see what he's doing? He's saying that white people are going out there committing crimes, and he's blaming that on the right. Do you see what he's doing? That's hate. That's political hate. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be putting crimes that are being committed on American citizens and putting them on a political group. You should never do that. That's dangerous. That is the very thing that got what's this guy's channel? The YouTuber named Destiny. It got his channel demonetized because he did that. Satan the Sinner got demonetized because I think Satan the Sinner was speaking against the J people. That's what got him demonetized. He went in. He went off. And they just pulled the plug on him.
What we may see, man, is the left going to emerge. They're going to come right back and say, you know what? Right now is the end of an era of bigotry, the end of an era of hate.
Why isn't this guy preaching the gospel? Everything to him is bigotry and hate, and he's a damn hateful person who hates white people, and he's a racist. This man is all over the place. When I tell you he's a flip-flopper, he's a mess. Nobody should be following this guy.
The racist cults, the terrorist,
the racist cults when he's in one. That don't make no sense.
It's an ending era, and it's all about healing, love, reconciliation.
This man don't care about healing and love. What is he talking about? He don't love the J people. He don't. This is what he have on his Rumble account. Candace Owens exposed the synagogue of Satan. That's how New Breed feel about the J people. So all this talk about love is a joke. He don't love them, guys. If you ask New Breed, do you love Jewish people? Ask New Breed that. I dare you. To everybody that's viewing, ask New Breed, do he believe if the J people are the chosen people of God? Ask him that and see what he say. He ain't going to say yes. He's not going to say yes. Trust and believe that.
That's what may happen. So all you people running around MAGA, calling black people savages and animals. Oh, man.
I'm the one who call black racist savages and criminals savages because they are. Anyone who is black who's committing crimes in the black community, killing their own people, selling drugs, is a savage animal. And that's the truth. He's talking about me, guys. He's saying those of you that wear a MAGA hat calling black people savages. He's talking to me. He just don't got the balls to call my name.
Oh, man. Y'all may be in some hot water running around calling black people savages, pulling up on their college campuses illegally because you're supposed to book the
white men that were at the black college was not there calling the blacks savages. They just wanted civil discourse. You folks at the black colleges attacked those groups. You were expressing hate. You didn't allow them to express freedom of speech.
Book that appearance.
He's basically saying that the white guys call black people savages. They never did. They never did. But you saw what he just did, guys. That's crazy. He's basically saying that the white men that were there, that they were calling black people savages. That's a lie.
MAGA, y'all might end up next. Y'all might end up next. This is why I always say.
Notice he's saying MAGA, y'all might end up next, meaning on the ADL list. I don't care about no ADL list. I don't care. That list does not, the ADL list does not do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for you. That list is for their people. That list feeds the FBI information on what they need to look into in regards to anti-Semitism so that it can make the community safe for the J people. That's what that is for. But New Breed don't understand that because he's a clown.
Keep your eyes on the prize, follow the Most High. Don't get into these damn hate groups.
He's telling you not to get into a hate group when he's a hate group. His whole platform is a hate group. All his viewers are hateful. Hateful.
You ain't got to choose no side. All you got to do is follow God.
How? You don't even teach them about God. You talk more about Trump than God.
I'm telling you. Now, let me read a little bit more of this because this is crazy, y'all. Hold on one moment. Let me get here.
I didn't even eat breakfast this morning, guys. That's crazy. I got up, started taking care of business, and I said, let me go live and do some content. I ain't even eating that. I'm going to get off just now. I got to get something to eat. For real, for real.
Wait. I got a lot of tabs. Let me close a couple of these. All right. Anyway, the ADL, which describes, okay, let me go down. Founded in 2012 by Charlie Kirk, TPUSA is a white right-wing student movement that, according to the ADL, has raised millions from conservative donors. They've raised millions, probably billions.
And that's what the ADL was doing. They were pocket watching. They were watching Charlie Kirk grow. That's jealousy. That's hate. They're watching his pockets. They saw this young man with so much traction, and they say, you know what? We're going to list him on our website. We see something brewing. Let's put him out there.
And played a significant role in Republican politics. The ADL notes that Turning Point USA operates at a professor watch list to expose teachers with left-wing views and a student school board watch list targeting what is described as anti-American and radical teachings, such as critical race theory and gender theory. The ADL reports accuses Kirk of promoting Christian nationalism and hosting events when known extremists have spoken. It also highlights his skepticism regarding the legitimacy of 2020 U.S. presidential election and opposing C-19.
So let me get this straight. Notice this, guys. Now watch how we blow up New Breed. Watch this. The ADL said what they said in regards to the election and C-19. New Breed made countless videos during the pandemic time with C-19. And guess what happened to his Patreon? Guess what happened to his Patreon? He was using, I believe, a Vimeo account. His Vimeo account was flagged down, and they deleted his videos about C-19 because he was trying to put out information speaking against it. And they shut down all his videos. He contacted me privately to let me know, yo, they just shut down my page, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. And he was like, yo, man, I don't know. You may want to consider probably removing your videos. And that was around the time when YouTube, Instagram, every platform, if you had any opinion about C-19, they were shutting your video down. If you said anything that went against the status quo, your videos were shut down. You understand? So he spoke out against C-19. He didn't take no shot. He didn't believe in that. I didn't take no shot. When I was working in New York at the agency, they told me, hey, if you don't take that shot, you losing your job. And I had a very good job. Very, very good paying job. I said, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. It was like, oh, you got to get exemption letters. You got to get this. You got to get that. I did all of that. I got the exemption letter. I turned it into the agency. They still denied me the exemption status. They said, no exemption status for you. Take the shot. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. And after 3 months of battling, right? I had 3 months left on the job, battling, going through hearings and various things. One day, they just said, you know what? Don't come back to work. That's how they did us. American workers who paid their dues. And just the other day, at that agency, we see a building collapse due to an explosion. Let me put it on the screen. Let me put this out there, guys. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Y'all think this is a game. Let me show you this, guys. Let me see. Let me show you this, guys. This is wild. Absolutely wild. Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put it? Let me see. Let me see if this is it. Let me see. Yep, this is it. Okay, guys. Let me put this on the screen. Now, let's review this video. Now, the agency that I was working with is a company named NYCHA. This particular company have housing developments all over New York, all over the city, right? And I was responsible for maintenance in the heating departments, right? I was a heating maintenance worker. They got rid of me and some of the colleagues of mine because we didn't take the shot. We were responsible for maintaining boiler equipment, machinery, $1 million of worth of equipment. We was literally responsible for maintaining all of these different things. Let me show you what happened at a NYCHA development in the Bronx. Let me show you this.
Yo, I think so.
Right? Watch this, guys. I'm going to put this full screen. Let me show you what happened. I told you guys that the job that I was doing was very dangerous, that you could die on the job. It's very serious. People can lose lives. Explosions can happen. I warned everybody that this is very, very possible. Right? Now, check this out. This recently just happened like 2 days ago. 2 days ago, guys. Check it out. Hold on. Wait. Let's get the volume.
Fucking block, bro.
Look, check this out.
Yo, I think something blew up on my fucking block, bro. Shit just woke me out of my sleep, bro. What the fuck? Bro, look at the hood, bro. Bro, I was just deady. Shit just woke me up. 8 in the morning, huh? Look at that shit. I don't even know where that shit coming from. I don't even know what happened. I can't even see.
That's the housing projects, guys. Look at this. Watch this, guys. Watch this. This is the boiler plant. Look what it did to the building.
What the fuck just happened over there?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Half of my fucking Billy just fell, huh?
Look at the building collapse.
Oh, the half of the fucking Billy just fell, huh?
Look at that.
Oh!
Look at that.
Oh!
Look at that, guys. That's the job that I was doing in the projects when I worked for that agency. I was in charge of working in them type of areas, maintaining the boiler plants. I know exactly what caused that explosion. I was an expert in that field. I know what caused that. And it happened at 8 in the morning on October 1st. That's when the explosion happened. You want to know what October 1st mean? October 1st is when the heating department have to open they have to turn on all the boilers to provide heat to the buildings. During the summer months, right, even in early September, they don't turn on the heat because it's still warm outside. So what they do on October 1st, that is when heat must be, distributed to the residents. What caused that explosion, based on my years of experience and expertise, is the fact that an OBM most likely was working on a boiler, turned it on, and for whatever reason, somebody circumvented a safety. Somebody circumvented a safety. There was gas in the chamber. And when the ignition pilot went on, the ignition cycle of a boiler, these are low pressure boilers, 15 PSI and below, the boiler exploded, ricocheting through the smokestack all the way through the chimney of the building, causing a collapse. Do you understand? It was gas related. Somebody circumvented a safety. Because here's the thing. I never worked at that location. I worked primarily in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Sometimes we did tours in the Bronx, but it wasn't work related where I had to be on post and work. It was more or less supervisors wanted me to accompany them to see certain plants and such stuff like that. Now, what happened in that situation based on the explosion, because I've seen many of these explosions happen, and it's due to the fact that somebody circumvented a safety. If the safeties in a boiler is in place, the boiler would shut down. When you start up a boiler, a 15 PSI and below boiler, low pressure boiler, it goes through what is known as pre-purge. The pre-purge cycle allows air to remove any gas that is trapped in the combustion chamber, so that when the pilot light strikes and the air meets it, right, and the gas is pretty much atomized, right, what happens is it goes through a cycle to purge any existing gas in the chamber so there's no explosions. Similar to if you were to light an oven, right? If there's gas in the oven and you turn on the oven to light it, the pilot would cause an explosion. You'll blow up your whole house. You get it? So there's always a pre-purge. Even in a stove, the same principles apply. All in the training that we get is all the same principles. So what caused that explosion? Let me go back to it, guys. Let me go back to the explosion. Check it out. Right? Give me a minute. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it?
Yo, I think something blew up on
Okay.
my fucking block, bro. Shit just.
Let me keep the volume off while I explain this. Now, when you look at this video and you think about this, the boiler plant blew up. One of the boilers, not the whole plant, a boiler blew up. Once that boiler blew up, it was so loud, so bad, that it literally blew the smokestack from the bottom and it lost its foundation. That's why when you look at the building, let me fast forward it. Right? Watch this part. Here it comes. Now, look at the whole side of the building. The whole side of the building is gone. Notice the people apartments are right there. This could have been a catastrophe. Do you see that? The whole side, the side of the building right there is the smokestack, or what you would call a chimney. That is where the gas fumes literally come out. The smoke comes out of there. It comes out and it goes out the top. Right? If the smoke is dark black, like black, that means the gas to air ratio in the boiler plant is bad. Somebody gotta adjust it. It needs to be exhausting in white. The smoke fumes need to be white. That means that it's burning properly. The explosion was so bad, it blew off the side of the building. Watch this. Look at this. Look at the rest of the collapse. Think about this. In NYCHA, they have what is known as caretakers. Shout out to all the caretakers that work in New York City housing. They're the hardest workers in New York City housing because they work on the outside. Caretakers could have been down there working the grounds, cleaning. They could have died. Look at the building. Look at that. That right there is because a worker was not doing their job. A worker was not doing their job. Do you understand? A worker was not doing their job. Somebody circumvented a safety. Whoever turned on that boiler may have, number one, did not know. Oh, somebody's going to get fired. Trust and believe me. NYCHA don't listen. They don't play. They do not play. Matter of fact, not only fired, prison time. You're going to jail. You're going to hear about it. I'm going to do my investigation. I got eyes and boots on the ground. I'll know. I get inside info. Remember, I work for the agency. I get inside info. So I'm going to know what happened. All I got to do is make a call. I'll get the info on who went to jail, who was responsible, who did it. Somebody circumvented a safety. That boiler was supposed to shut off. If there was gas in that chamber, the boiler would not start if the safeties were in place. So that means somebody turned it on without no experience and blew the whole place up. I'm surprised nobody died. I'm surprised nobody died. You understand? The job is very serious, guys. Very, very serious. So when I speak on these topics, when I speak on these issues, I'm telling you, they got rid of us workers, the good workers. And this is why they're having these issues right now. Because the people who they got, they don't work. They don't work. Now they go and dance for the media and water down this situation like they don't know what's going on. I know exactly how that explosion happened. Somebody circumvented the safety in the boiler that was supposed to trip the boiler so that it don't start. The gas, listen, the gas fuel valve would not have opened if the safety was in place. It wouldn't have opened. It would have stayed closed. Oh, yeah. The double block and bleed by the high pressure regulator. Oh, yeah. It would have shut down. This is my expertise. This is my field. I know this thing like the back of my hands, guys. I know this job. So I know exactly what happened. Somebody's going to get fired. Somebody's losing their job and possibly going to jail. If somebody died, you're going to jail. All of this is in the training. If somebody get killed in one of these kinds of explosions, you're getting charged with that. I would love to see what the logbook says. Somebody's like, but wait a minute. But how could the explosion happen, Ringo? I mean, like, really? If boilers were already on. Well, let me explain that to you. In a boiler plant, you have about 3 to probably 6 or 7 boilers. In the summertime, they only use about 2 boilers to maintain hot water. When it's heating season, you're going to need more PSI, more pounds per square, So you're going to need more boilers online to keep the pressure at about 7 to 8 PSI to provide heat. When it's summertime, you don't need that much pressure. So you only need 2 boilers online. They put all the boilers online to provide heat. And they open the valves and the explosion happened. Why? Somebody didn't check the boiler. So it could be an OBM that was probably working, circumvented a safety, forgot to put something back in place, explosion. Or it could be a worker, an HPT, a heating plant technician, and they probably did something, didn't log it, didn't let the supervisor know that boiler 3 got a gas issue, it got a gas leak. Somebody didn't inform supervision. That's how it happened. Let's see if the news media report that. I bet you they won't. I bet you the news media won't report everything I just finished saying. They're going to keep that on a hush-hush.
The listing provoked immediate response online, with technology entrepreneur Elon Musk calling the ADL a hate group, and a series of posts on his X platform. Musk specifically condemned the organization classification of TPUSA, describing the move as deeply wrong. Several political figures and commentators also weighed in, claiming that ADL's characterization misrepresented Christianity.
It did. They misrepresented Christianity because they were talking about Christians.
Conservative beliefs. Yep. Donald Trump Jr., the son of the U.S. president, called the listing a disgrace.
There you go. And that's what made the ADL change their tune. It takes people. See, watch this, guys. The white man joined together in unison and made the ADL cease and desist. You think the black community can come together and make the ADL take down what they had to say about black people? Oh no, it's not going to work because black people never unite. So this article about the Black Hebrew Israelites will always be on the ADL website. You know why? Because black people don't know how to unite, to make moves, to make noise, to make them take that down. So they have black people listed who believe in this as a hate group. So that means if any of us practice our belief, practice our faith, then basically that's what they're saying about us. You see? Let me see. SoFC says, you inspired me to become a professional. Wait, you inspired me to become as professional as you, Ringo, when it comes to the career I'm pursuing. You got to be. You got to be a professional in the field that you're in. Whatever it is that you do, you got to take it very serious. You got to understand that this is your career, not only your job, but it's your career. You have to do your job by the book, which means although you might have coworkers that don't take their job serious, they cut corners, they play games, they don't educate themselves. No, you got to carry yourself like a professional. You're a professional, which means you read books, you study the job, you understand all the standard procedures, everything, and you do what you do to the best of your abilities. That is how I was when I was working at that agency. I did my job. I did it to the best of my abilities. I didn't play around. I didn't cut no corners. I had to service all these equipments. I had to deal with maintenance, everything. I didn't play around. I understood that we can blow up the building. We can kill people with these boilers. It can be a mess. You can harm your coworkers. So everything I did was by the books. And the partner that they gave me was a younger guy. I pretty much trained him, and now he's a supervisor. Shout out to that brother. He's a supervisor right now. He's doing pretty good. He stayed in the business. He stayed doing what he had to do. He took his exams, and now he's a supervisor. I'm proud. I'm proud to see him move up in the company. I hope he become an administrator one day and eventually a deputy director. That way he can call shots to really cause change within the workplace, because as an administrator or a deputy director, for him to be in that position, he'll be able to really call some real shots because now he's the supervisor of the supervisors. So now he can literally make heads roll and really call out the real issues, you know, because that's where I was headed. I wanted to be, you know, at the top of the list, not just a supervisor, but a deputy director at the top of the food chain. That I can go to the developments where people are not working and not doing their job and literally cut people down and really kick ass because I didn't play with the job. I took this stuff very serious because the people who trained me, my teachers, you know, other people that pretty looked out for me, they were real men that stood on business. And when they took me under their wing, they trained me and made me understand good work ethic, following the books, and don't cut no damn corners. And that's how I always been. You know? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm just trying to let you know the history to make you understand where I came from. So when they cut me off and my partners due to the pandemic, that's why you see that explosion right there. Our job was to prevent stuff like that. To make sure the equipment is up to top notch. To prevent that. Because people can die. Imagine you live in an apartment right under the boiler plant. You will die. You'll die. So you might be a resident, you might not know what's going on, but that boiler plant that's underneath your apartment is a ticking time bomb. If the workers are not doing their job, you will die. And I've worked in locations where the boiler plant was right below an apartment with a bunch of kids. And I took the job so serious, man. I walked in there, I made sure everything is right. I got on anybody ASS and let them know, like, bro, make sure you document everything, bro. If something ain't right, let the supervisors know, because that's your job. Log it in the logbook, make sure everything is right. Listen, there have been times on the job, guys, residents would complain about issues. I would go to their house, knock their door. They'd be like, look, I haven't had no heat in days. I'm struggling, I'm suffering. I'd be like, look, you know what? I'm going to take care of that. And I would literally work till hours and hours and hours, even after my shift, just to make sure that resident was good. I went into this one lady's apartment. She had a whole flood. Her whole radiator was flooded. Whole apartment flooded. All the wiring is flooded with water. She got kids walking around barefoot all around the house. Dangerous situation. I went and grabbed all my tools, went and did what I had to do, shut down the system. People were complaining, why are you turning off the heat? Why are you turning off the heat? I'm like, listen, you have a whole apartment there flooded. I got to fix this situation. I had to shut down the whole system to make sure that I can service the heater, fix the radiator, install all new components, all new parts, so that the flood don't continue. Boiling hot water is coming out of that heater with steam. I had to fix that nonsense. Then turn back on the system. Because why? Because workers don't work. I had to go do the job. And yet, the people that did the best work, they got rid of them because they didn't want to take a shot. And you wondering why I'm so diligent with my content? It's my work ethic. That's why I'm so thorough. That's why when I break stuff down, I do it the same way I did my job in the job. Thoroughly. Let's go. Hold on. Wrong button.
Critics pointed to the ADL's reference to Christian identity, a fringe ideology, arguing it had been misrepresented as an attack on Christianity itself. That's a lie. They're not attacking Christianity.
Notice how he's defending the ADL by saying they're not attacking Christianity when that's exactly what they did. Notice, he's saying they're not attacking Christianity. Now watch this, guys. But yet, they got this post about Black Hebrew Israelites. They're attacking your faith, NUBREED, and you don't got nothing to say, coward. So not only were they attacking Christianity, they're also attacking the Black Hebrew Israelite movement and your belief. So are you going to say they're not attacking you? Guys, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to end the stream because, like I said, I got to get something to eat. I got some business I got to take care of. You know? Let me see if I can continue this later on. Let me see the timestamp. We're at the timestamp of 40. So we reviewed 40 minutes of his video. So let me get this timestamp so that I can continue, right? So it's at the 40-minute mark. So guys, we're going to continue this video, a part 2. I also have a part 2 to do with another video that he did. So we're going to continue this discussion. I hope that everybody was able to learn something from this. We put out a lot of information. I really got to get to work, guys. I got a lot of things I got to do. I'll be back on later with more content. Appreciate everybody stopping by. You know, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, guys. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, right? So guys, that particular YouTuber is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous guy. He promotes nothing but division, hate, and racism towards whites, blacks, everybody. And it is sick. You know, I've showed you beyond a shadow of doubt what the ADL have to say about black Hebrew Israelites. New Breed won't even address it. He tried to dance around the truth like they weren't talking about him and you. They're talking about all of you. And he even denied that the ADL wasn't targeting Christians. They were. That's why they had to take down the post about Charlie Kirk. Because they knew Elon Musk threw them under the bus. You see? So at the end of the day, guys, we'll be back later on with more content. Appreciate those of you that subscribe to the channel. Those of you that are in the building, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next video, guys. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace. We out of here.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw.